take on decision. Mr. Function, come off it, teach them all a lesson. Me say, when we fire drum and bass, how we mash up the place, how we tell them that the music is the weapon. And the gal a charm, she want to work hard like a farmer, right sharp cut up like katana.
Good? Good? Everybody hear me? All right. Welcome back to the Point Ray Podcast. I'm Vert.
Shaba.
Balls.
And today we have...
DJ Jazzy Fizzle.
So Jasmine is the owner, operator of bar number 79 in Hammonton.
Yep.
And how has that been?
It's been a journey.
It's a wild ride, right?
Yeah. I mean, being on, I was with you guys in the casinos for 17 years. And now on the receiving end, there's so much stuff that I overlooked.
You mean took for granted as just an employee compared to what they have responsibility?
There's so much to it that it really is important to dig into and pay attention to. And I don't know, it's the fine detail of everything. It's watching your bottom line all the time. I rub a lot of inner thighs, way more than I did in the casinos. It's a lot of every time something kind of goes wrong. It's like the public relations aspect of it is, another level.
How has it been dealing with the city itself?
Oh, they love us there. I mean, there's nobody there.
Yeah.
There's nobody there.
There's only two of us.
Yeah, you've got us and you have Sweetwater, and Sweetwater is another powerhouse. I mean, they have the whole water there, the river and everything, so it doesn't really matter what they do. It doesn't matter about the food, the service, anything, and that's something.
Buns.
Hey,
Is it really?
But they have the atmosphere, right?
I've never been there.
It's fucking terrible.
But they have the atmosphere, so they don't really have to worry about it.
Yeah.
You know, it's at best when it rains a lot, we have a moat in the back, and that's all I got. So it's so important with the food, and everything has to be on point every single time. And every single time something very minuscule happens, it's you hear about it. I've got hey, let me tell you what's going on.
Let me tell you what happens.
I've been going to restaurants my whole life.
Yeah.
I'll tell you about how you should be doing things.
Yeah. People.
Human capital all the way around. It's between the customers, the employees, building the team atmosphere, wanting people, who work there, wanting them to come back and have a good time.
Yeah.
We were balls to the wall last night, and it was all day long. It was just hours of just people constantly coming through the door. So I got to the point because everybody was kind of getting tired. So I got whipped cream. And every time they came through the kitchen, I was filling everybody's mouth. And then,
It's a little sunshine.
Yeah.
Powdered
That's what makes
sugar.
you awesome, though. Is as an owner, is that's your personality. You know what I mean? And
Here,
just lighten up the mood.
Right?
That's what I'm saying. Most owners are we're almost there, team. We got it. And she's she come through.
Yeah, you're motivated.
You have to do it. You have no choice.
Right. Right. But they love it at the same time. So that's dope.
So, yeah, it was fun. They're good people.
Has that stopped too? The revolving door of employees, and you're getting better your base.
Yeah, we will be open 4 years in November. We've had 80% of our crew on for almost 3.
Nice.
So,
that's solid. How many employees do you have now?
16.
Okay.
So, but they're just great. Having a really good time with them. And then we have we got a trolley that opened, the speakeasy upstairs.
That
I
looks so
keep
dope.
saying that it's going to open, but it's actually opening.
Yeah.
It's just, we're just doing cocktails now up there. That's it.
good.
Good.
Okay.
So
you're not renting it out yet? Trying to do parties?
I have been. Been throwing people up there and hanging out. We're doing a lot of private events. So, just trying to get it going.
It's good. And how's the wedding venue aspect of it coming along?
It's more so we get all of the receptions and graduations and birthday parties and all of that. So
That's good.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
you don't have to sit there and pursue
I would much rather do that than do plate for plate. So we're pretty much booked out every weekend through until September for events now.
Nice.
That's really good.
So, yeah,
That's awesome.
We're proud of you.
Thank you.
Super.
Yeah, it's been fun.
I heard you landed the Cornhole Academy.
I did. So
I had no idea.
Wait, that's a thing?
They have a league, like a bowling league, right?
Yeah.
I just
Yeah, I
wanted to
had
call
no
it
idea.
Cornhole Academy because it was from that movie.
Academy.
Ever seen Outside Providence?
Where do you, no, I've never
never
seen
seen it.
Outside
Oh my god,
Providence.
so great.
But I wonder if it's televised. Is it on the Ocho?
It's on the Ocho. It is on the Ocho. But yeah,
No,
Yeah,
that's
there's like a whole league.
a serious thing though.
yeah.
They bring their own bags, their own boards. They've got a TV screen. They've got a drone watch and everything the whole time. So
And they're
it's
just
really
out
cool what
back?
they do. Yeah, we're actually because of them, we're getting all new turf put into the rest of the property.
Nice.
So because they don't want their bags touching dirt. I don't know.
Oh yeah.
The thing, they spend a lot of money on them, though.
Maybe it's the door. Does it change the weight? Come on, say it.
He wants to say it so bad.
Sorry, I know.
Dirt
I
bags not
I
wanting-
walked into that one.
Oh, no, but like,
Scott.
if
This
you're
is a
really
safe
into something,
space.
okay, I get it. I get if you get into something like you want, like, okay, you don't want to touch in the dirt because you spent however much money on this special bean.
My beanbag.
Like, I respect
I
when
want my
people get into
beanbag in the
shit,
dirt
but it's
either.
still fucking funny.
It's hilarious.
Like-
but it's something you would never. I would have never thought of that. I'm like, I thought it was played on the grass. I'm like, no, you want turf now. It's like,
Where are my bags?
Yeah.
In the house yelling at their wives.
I'm trying to think logically. Like, I'm like, does it add weight to the bag? Like, is it totally different if you throw
when
it with
people get
dirt?
like really serious about like backyard games. You know, like that's like it's their thing.
Right.
This is what I do.
Yeah.
Okay,
Their thing.
this is what I do. Like it's not, you know, I'm not good at baseball. I'm good at this. So I love when they get really into it because it's amazing to watch them.
To watch it, yeah.
I don't know, it's fucking crazy. Actually, watching these guys, like these professionals, they don't miss that fucking hole ever.
Yeah, I know.
It's
It's,
just like
crazy.
No, it's a talent.
And they're
It
like-
takes time.
Yeah.
I've watched them play, and some of them get like really mad and walking
That's
off
the
the
best.
thing.
I'm
It's
sorry.
a competitive deal. Yeah,
I'm
My
sure.
kids get like that. We were
It's
just
like
at
bowling.
a
Like,
Yeah.
yeah.
they go crazy in bowling too.
No,
Yeah.
it is. But we were at a friend's at Misty's house not that long ago, and then we were playing cornhole, and I didn't realize like the kids are super competitive, and they're older now. You know, they're 14, 16, 18.
Yeah.
So the boys were just like talking everybody under the bus the whole time. They're like, "Let's go, let's play." I was like, "Whoa, when did you guys get so like fucking crazy over cornhole?" And then they were like obnoxiously good at beer pong, which was concerning. You know,
You're like, where
they're
have you
like,
guys
line
been?
them up, line them up. They're not straight. I was like, how do you guys fucking know that they're supposed to be lined up? What's been going on?
Right.
Thought you guys were playing chess with your friends
Yeah.
on Saturday night while I
Yep.
was working.
See,
Liars.
And then you were worried about leaving them
Liars.
home alone. She was like, now they're old enough to just use the bathroom. They're fine. I'm like, all right.
They're not playing chess.
They're going to chess club. They're fine.
They play beer pong weird now. Like I
Really?
noticed that. Yeah, I noticed that at
What's-
Caden's going away party.
What do they do? What's
They,
weird
it's
about
just
it?
like the way that they like the rules are different. Not only that, but they don't fill the actual cups up with beer. They fill up with water and then they just drink. I'm like, the fuck you pussies doing? Like, what do you mean? You're not, like, oh, like, we're not gonna drink that beer that someone's been drinking.
That's the point.
I'm like, you're
It's gross. It's a gross fucking.
And this is exactly
yeah,
how
yeah.
diseases are going to spread. Nobody's.
No. Stop. This is exactly how you build your immune system.
No,
right.
that's what I mean. They're not building their immune system
okay,
by
but-
drinking
I thought you were
after.
saying
Okay.
they're not going to do
No,
germs.
their
Yeah,
generation. Yeah,
I just kissed every motherfucker in this party. You know what I mean?
they need to be touching
good.
each other's cups, and putting
Yeah.
each other's fingers in their mouths. If they're not doing that, then everybody's going to get polio.
Gonna get dysentery.
They
Yeah.
know nothing.
There was a
know
really
nothing.
cool game they were playing. It was called Dice. And so like yo, is it cool if we bring the dice table over? Right? They built this fucking like 8 by 4 foot table, right? And it's high too. I'm thinking like, all right, we'll be playing CeeLo.
Right.
I'm like,
Right.
sick. I'm like, it's fucking gamble. What are we
Right,
doing here?
right.
They're like, no. It's a game we play. It's a drinking game. I'm like, okay. So I start watching it. It's fucking nuts, man. You have to throw the dice up in the air.
Okay.
Right? And if it hits the has to hit the table, and if it falls off, the other team has to catch it,
Okay.
right?
And if they don't.
Otherwise, you get a point or something like that.
Okay.
Yeah, like I really wasn't like following soup, but like, and if it fucking starts to fall off, and then you kick it up in the air to your other partner, and they catch it, you get extra points or some shit like that. And I kept asking, I was like, do the dice have anything to do with, like, the numbers have anything to do with it?
Yeah.
Like, oh, kind of. And I'm like, oh my God.
Yeah, that's what I was waiting for. Like,
I guess that they
numbers.
land on the actual table and actually stick.
okay.
But you have to throw it, like, high in the air.
Oh, okay.
And it bounces on the table. And most of the time, it bounces off.
Right. You got to catch the shit.
Dude, they were super into it.
Did you get drunk off that game? Because it sounds like you didn't know
I didn't
what
play.
was going on.
The whole time. I did get drunk because I just stood there and pounded beers while I was watching. I was like, this is fucking retarded.
You're just like,
I'm like, yeah, this is pretty cool. I'm into it. Yeah, I'm like, keep doing that.
Good job. Good job.
But it was neat. I was like, you guys just making up cool, like, new cool games. I'm like, okay,
yeah.
I'm in.
I'm
here for it.
Why not?
Yeah.
I like it.
Haven't played a drinking game in a long time.
Now, I noticed that too. The boys were saying, I was arguing with them at one point because they said the ball went into one cup. It kind of like dipped in and went into another. They're like, that counts, take them both. I was like, fuck, it does. Nah, it doesn't
Fuck outta
count.
Yeah.
House rules. Where'd you come up with that one?
House rules. Dude, like, where'd you come up with that one? We just did. Like, right now.
Yeah.
It doesn't count.
Never happened before.
Yeah.
Yeah, like they keep. I feel like they keep adding new rules to the game.
As they go.
Yeah, and it just doesn't make sense.
Yeah, it constitutes as cheating.
Like I was at one house where they didn't take the cups away as you hit them,
What?
Why?
which is even weirder. I'm like,
How are you?
What's the point of that?
How can you tell who's winning and shit? Like,
Scott's just going around to different parties confused.
How can you tell who's winning? Whoever passed out first.
yeah.
He
Yeah.
loses.
yeah.
I guess it was like a point. I don't know if it was like a point system kind of thing. Like the way we always played it was you had 2 satellites and then you had the triangle, right?
Oh, I never
satellite
had
cups.
the satellite. I just had the triangle when we played.
Yeah,
Yeah,
2
I
satellites. So
never had satellites.
you had to knock that. So you had to knock down all the ones, everything, and the 2 satellites.
Oh shit.
Yeah, and there was always beer in them. You always had to drink.
Yeah, you always had to
I
drink
played beer pong 5 times in my life.
Really?
Shocker. Yeah, guys aren't shocked. Come on. Like, you're not surprised, right? I didn't even know about that shit till I was like 20.
Well, yeah, we caught on to it later in life. Like I didn't play till I was like 20 something,
Yeah.
and it was always like you had like a napkin. You just tap the ball in the napkin, give it to the other person. You just drink that beer, right? Like it's like like you wash the ball.
No, we had
Have like a little golf ball.
Yeah,
we had
water.
a rinse cup.
Yeah, rinse
We used
cup.
to have a rinse cup
That's it,
with
with the towel, right?
Yeah.
Water, towel. Keep it
Yeah.
going. I'm sure that water wasn't super clean. Rinse.
Gross.
None of it's sanitary. It's fine.
So does this league have like their own? Is it teams that have their own shirts, stuff
Yeah,
like that?
we have,
It's like super serious.
Sponsors.
34 teams that are guaranteed every Wednesday. So it's good. I have a
Holy shit.
guaranteed, whatever the math is on that, 68?
34 teams? Wow.
Yeah. It's guaranteed
About
every
70 people.
Wednesday.
That's a lot of fucking
It's
people.
about 70 people.
Yeah.
Yeah. And they all come with their family. So we open up the back bar.
Oh, that's awesome.
And,
Good for you. Dude.
and then they're doing it through, they're going to be extending through fall.
Nice.
So, because they like it.
That's awesome.
So it's good. It was another one.
But
of
you
those-
didn't contractually do it. You just like, yeah, come on, try it out.
They were having some hard time. They played
Yeah.
at different places, played at Sweetwater, Freddie J's, a couple other places, and they just came to me and said, you know, they just like the Outback area is easier for them. There's direct access to the bar. You know, it's just nice. There's a bigger area.
Yeah,
And it's a lot of the locals. And I love all those guys. Like everybody in Mullica Township, they're so good to us, and they're just really cool people. And
Yeah.
you know, they always have their list of demands and stuff, so which is fun.
The
I
rider.
like
Yeah, they have a
the
rider.
rider.
sit down and listen to it every once in a while. I'll get my computer and like pretend like I'm typing shit in. But I give them, you know, I do a lot for those guys, you know, because they're good to us. The whole town is.
So their families eating, drinking, all
Yeah,
that
they
stuff,
all hang out, and it's just, I mean, again, open up 4 years, and all of these, I'm the bouncer. Yeah, you know, I am. So it's, I've only had.
Have you never had an issue in there?
I've had one issue.
One in 4 years.
1 in 4 years.
It's really
yeah.
good.
That's impressive. That really is.
Yeah, it was kind of a funny one too.
Come on, this is
Yeah,
why
I'm about to
we
say,
are
yeah,
here.
yeah, that's right.
No names,
Stories, please.
please.
Well,
Bring it.
all right. Well, there's this one guy that would come in a lot, and I only bought Cavassier for him because he would go through a whole bottle in like 2-3 days.
Oh.
And he actually owned a lot of gay bars in town, like over the 70s. He's like this
wow.
crazy motherfucker, actually, because he's like Russian mobster. Like his family all stemmed from that over time. And
Okay.
he just has some wild stories. And he actually was trying to open like a spa over at one of the casinos, and I walked the property with him. And the CEO and all of them came down, but the area that he was trying to open up the spa, it was like all the old carpet, like old tile. It looked like it was never touched since 1972. And I was like, you have to walk with your bare feet on this carpet from here over to the other end. I was like, I don't think anybody's going to do that.
Yeah.
I don't know. It was a whole thing. So anyway, we wound up like, I put a pin in that one because it was weird. And then, but he consistently would come in. So he had all these guys that would work for him. And they were all like a little, I don't think they really worked for cash. I don't know what they did.
I don't know what he did.
I don't want to speculate, but I'm just saying that.
They really work for cash.
So
Unsavory character.
yeah, the one day he was sitting at the bar, and he's an older guy. He's like probably 65-ish, somewhere in there. And then one of the younger guys that works for him came in, and he was on another level. I don't know what he was on. They start going back and forth. And it was like 4 o'clock in the afternoon. Sorry. X out the name.
Timestamp.
It's fine.
1632.
It's fine, or whatever. So he bitch slapped him in front. It was 4 o'clock in the afternoon, and I had families sitting behind him and children and everything. So I just kind of nonchalantly went up. I was like, hey, you can't do that. That's not right. And then they just kept going back and forth. So I had to pull them out of their seats. I had the guy in front of me, the other guy behind me were walking through the bar, and they're yelling back and forth at each other. So by the time I got out to the back door, I had like 8 of the regulars. They already stood up. And before we were out there more than 10 seconds, all of the regulars were behind me and making sure the situation was okay. Yeah. But they continued to fight. And, the guy, like, he's...
Like a legit fist fight? Or like...
So he is a 65-year-old gay man, you know? So he went in to go do a punch, but he, like, kind of, like, cocked his arm back, and he ran full speed. And when he went to go punch him in the face, he spun. And then he fell on the ground. And then the other guy was dancing around him going, let's go, let's go. I was like, that's not fair.
65.
We should probably just... Don't do it. Stop. That was the gist of my bouncing. I'm like, don't do it. Stop doing what you're doing.
This is not right.
Yeah, I don't like it. No.
This isn't the place for this.
Please stop.
We don't do that here.
But they really felt like they were in this hardcore situation. They were like going back and forth, like, bring it. And they like chest bumping each other and shit. I don't know.
Oh my God.
So I put the one guy in my car. Then the other regular put the other guy in his car. They lived at the same place. So by the time we got there, they both got out, and they were like, pounding each other up. Or like, we're good. And they walk in the house. I'm like, God damn it. Like, it was so unnecessary. You couldn't just do this at your house. Like, and you guys live with each other. Like, come on. When I saw the regular pull up with the other guy.
Right. They go to the same house.
Yeah. Like, I got there.
Are they like gay for each other?
Maybe.
There's a lot that goes on. Like I said, I don't think that they get paid in cash. They probably just get paid in cack.
Decac.
Jesus.
That's where my head went.
Yeah.
Okay.
They're probably lovers.
It would.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he hasn't been back since. So there was that.
How long
He's embarrassed. You know what I mean?
How long ago was that?
Probably like a year and a half, 2 years now.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, he's not coming back.
Is he alive?
He's been spotted.
He's been
Sleeping with the fishes.
Yeah.
Sleeping with some.
I know he never opened that Russian spa. Checked into it.
You know,
It was sketchy anyway.
that's a good observation on your part. You're like, I'm not walking barefoot from here to there.
That's fucking gross.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It's gross.
There was a lot. He's like, it's fine. Everybody will be fine with it.
No,
But
they won't.
on my end, really all he wanted from me was to recruit people. And that was the other thing, too. I don't know if I can say this.
Good.
Yeah, say it.
He
we say
was
everything.
on his end. He's like, listen, I need you to recruit, but I want you somehow to only recruit Asians. And I was like, well, I don't know how to, like, because you put up job ads.
I know how to target just.
Yeah. you have to put up job ads on like Indeed and ZipRecruiter and everything else. I'm like, I'm sorry, but I really don't know how to like fashion that into the wording where all we're getting is Asians coming through. And he goes, you have to make sure, like, when you're vetting them and you're doing the interview process, like, they've got to be ready for some, like, washy-washy. I was like, I don't even know how to say that either.
Is your name Gator? Are we talking to Gator right now?
So,
Jazz is a pimp.
yeah.
Yeah, right.
I mean, I wouldn't
So
mind
what you're
heading in
saying is that
direction.
you were almost involved in a wishy-washy.
This is like kind of.
I'm saying that I was smart enough to say, hey,
You let it get really far
This-
before you were smart enough to get where it was going.
Wait a minute, I'm a madam.
but the thing is,
That's Scott with the nautical,
with the-
nautical hoe navigation.
Yeah.
it was interesting, all right?
That's like-
I had nothing going on. And they said I was going to get a free lunch. So I was like, yeah, I'll go and see what you're
I
talking
had nothing
about.
going on. So I was going to get a
Nothing going on.
Yeah,
Free
kids
lunch.
were in school, so why not?
Jasmine,
And I go for an
I love you. Nothing is free.
No, yeah, it's. I know that.
Yeah. Wow.
Now that you're in the 40 club, nothing is free.
Yeah. Yeah, you
Yeah.
are.
You got to know this.
Amazing.
That's the greatest story.
That's hilarious.
You think you hear it all, right? It's like, you know,
Apparently not.
it's not enough. So much more happens.
No.
Any
I
other
was like,
recent, like, interesting, eventful things happen at the bar?
not so much at the bar.
Or
I
in
mean,
That
in
you want
life,
to talk about?
Like at best, like my brother's always an interesting character.
Yeah,
I love
we
the
know
guy.
that.
Love
Yeah.
him, love him, love him.
Yeah.
And did I tell you recently what happened in Mexico?
Oh, just Mexico
I
is the best.
love when a story starts
Starts that way, yes.
Tell you what happened in
No,
Mexico.
let me tell you what happened in another country.
Yeah, it's going to be wild.
Actually, I
Okay.
don't know if I can say this one.
All right, well, we'll cut it out.
Well-
Let's say it, though.
All right, yeah. Well, I'll tell you guys, and if it's like seems incriminating, then
Jazz, you know nobody watches this, right?
Yeah, you know, you're like
I mean, I don't want to
11,
like throw him
11
under the bus.
views.
Don't worry, my mom won't narc you out.
No, because he called me like in a panic one day, and he was in Guadalajara, and it was I don't know 3, 4 in the morning, and this happened before when he got kicked out of Hawaii. Like I was getting all these calls. He almost got
Wait a minute.
murdered in Hawaii.
You got kicked out of Hawaii,
Yeah,
like the
COVID.
entire state.
Yeah, in the beginning of COVID, he was in Hawaii, and they were supposed to evacuate the island, but instead of evacuating the island, he stayed. But the thing that went wrong was he was hanging out on an island, on the beach, all by himself. There's nobody else around. And he filmed himself, and he was doing some things like for the business that we had going on down in Baltimore. We were the telecom deal that we were doing. And he's like, oh, this is how you quarantine. Well, he was on the wrong side of the island. Like, he was on the island that's, like, very native. And they're very serious about everything that they have going on.
Right.
And he didn't have very good service, so he didn't realize, like, that everything was getting pumped up online. We went from, like, 5,000 views to like 40,000 views in the matter of a couple hours, and they made memes out of him. They were sending death threats. They had his location that they were sharing,
Holy
and they were
shit.
getting groups of people together to go find him.
What?
So I'm like, he's calling me, and he's like, yeah, you know, I'm like
That seems
getting
reasonable.
some weird things through my phone. I think you might look through it. I'm like, Pat, you're gonna die. I was like, I need you to like evacuate immediately. He goes, oh, it's not that big of a deal. I was like, no, for real, like, because I'm seeing all of this. And we were even getting death threats to our employees down in Baltimore.
Damn.
Like, they located the business.
That's so crazy online. How
So
they do that
had
shit,
shut
dude.
down the
Fast too.
Yeah.
I've never seen, like, you watch the internet go crazy. Like, I'm sure we're all victim of seeing, like, something go wrong. You see
Yeah,
a
of
guy
course.
do something on the internet, and you're like, ah, what an asshole.
Yeah.
You know? But is he really? Because
'Cause it could be totally
with my
innocent.
brother, yeah,
Right.
I'm watching this. My brother's a really, really good person, and he just does dumb things sometimes. Him and I are the same. And when he was innocently on a beach with nobody else around, and they were making it seem like he was spreading COVID through
The
the
entire
entire
island?
place.
Well, that's right. That was the insanity of COVID.
Right.
Yeah.
Was like someone out fucking like on it. Like they were arresting
Yeah. By-
surfers
yeah.
that were by themselves.
By
on the ocean.
themselves.
Yeah.
They're just somehow spreading it. To who? Where? What? How?
Yeah.
Everybody had it. automatically, no matter what.
No, it was just a crazy thing to watch. I watched the whole thing unfold, and then had to get the Airbnb, the owner of it, to hide him at her house in the back of her house in a shed.
What the
until we were able to get him a flight home. And the funniest thing about all of it, because you guys know my parents, I called my dad and I was like, hey, this is going on. Just want to let you know. He goes, oh, all right. I was like, I'm not telling Mom. He's like, yeah, it's a good idea. I was like, so, he's like, just, let me know when he's home. I'm like, God damn it. No care at all. I was like, it's fine. I'll save your son. Don't worry about it. I'll figure it out.
I'll save your son.
I love your dad, by the way.
Yeah.
He's so great.
So now we fast forward to the Guadalajara.
The Guadalajara phone call.
Yeah.
He was in a club, and a very famous drag queen. They're like on all this. I forget what the guy's name is.
RuPaul's Drag Race.
RuPaul.
It's some really famous drag queen. I forget who it is, but drugged him
that's
with
the only one I know.
ketamine.
With ketamine?
Yeah, in a bathroom, but very tall.
Well, I mean,
Like big.
most of them are tall.
Yeah.
You mean a man?
There's 6-inch heels on a man.
You mean a big man?
And-
That's Kenny going from 6'3" to 6'9". You're like, what the?
Yeah. Imagine getting drugged like that in a bathroom, ketamine. I'm getting all these phone calls, but they're like very panicky voicemails, one after another. I'm going to die. Pick up your phone.
Jesus.
Let's go. So by the time I wake up to it, now I can't get a hold of him at all. I have all these voicemails that he's going to die. So then I'm his location, I had it shared, couldn't find him, all this stuff. So I started to get panicky. It's like 5 hours later, and I knew that he was in Guadalajara. He kind of stays in the same area. I was honestly about to buy a ticket and go out to Mexico and try and find him.
Yeah.
And by the time I was like coming to terms with if I was going to buy a ticket or not, he calls me, and I'm like, oh my God, are you all right? Like, what happened? He's like, you're a dick. I was like, why am I? I'm sorry. What happened? He goes, well, if somebody calls you like that, you should really pick up your phone. I'm like, I was sleeping and I just didn't, I'm sorry. Like, are you okay? And he told me what happened. And then, like, he was okay in the moment, but it was like really scary. Yeah. But the kicker to it was I told him that I was about to buy a ticket, and he goes, listen, let's just be real with each other here. Like, if you bought a ticket and you came down to Mexico and we were, like, you found me in some, like, dungeon area or something and you were going to get me out and we were surrounded by people, he's like, I would push you into them and be like, take her kidney. And then he would take off running. He would just leave me to die.
Jesus Christ.
Fight or flight mode. He's flight mode.
He's a flyer.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Wow. Yo, your brother's wild, man.
Fucking Pat.
I love him to death.
You have to.
Yeah.
He's your little brother, right?
Yeah. It's the only one
you
I
have
got.
no choice, yeah.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter, right? He's a little bigger than the only brother.
Yeah. No, he's a great person. He's always checking up on the kids. He's always there for us all the time. So it's like the least I could do is find him in a bathroom with a drag queen and ketamine.
That's the least you could do.
How did that end? Like that? Like he got
Did
drugged.
he
like,
remember?
Did they touch him?
He didn't get
Did they
touched.
touch his no place?
The guy,
touch him?
girl, I don't know, tried dragging him out or whatever, and then the friend.
No
was
pun
there.
intended.
Dragging him out.
But the friend intervened, grabbed him, and it took him some time to kind of get all of that out of his system.
Sheesh.
His legs didn't work like the whole night.
Holy
It just
shit.
kind of like knocked him clean.
Legs not working from a drug is nuts.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's crazy.
I've never experienced that.
That's one.
Don't want to.
Never done that. I've heard stories.
Never want to do that.
So ketamine does that? It can make you fucking
Well, it's a
lose.
horse tranquilizer, right? Yeah. It's,
I never knew that.
never did that either.
Now it can make sense now. Wow.
yeah.
What the fuck? People take that.
If you walk through that, that's your boy, fucking Elon. That's his drug of choice.
That's his
isn't it?
thing. Yeah, I
Is
mean,
that his thing? Is that what he does?
I've heard
Yeah.
that too, yeah. It's gotta be. I mean, it's gotta be amazing in some dosage, obviously, for people to be taking it like that. The high's gotta be, because like you're not gonna take something that's gonna knock you the fuck out and have no effect. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
no, it puts you on a journey But I know it like makes it so you're incapable of just functioning. It makes a horse tranquilizer. That's the whole point of it.
I'm good.
I never knew that's what that was. I always heard.
I never knew it was.
I heard of it before. I never knew that's what the fuck it was. Jesus.
I think
How
people
good we are.
Some people take it for like
We don't know what drugs are.
So good we are. We're so good.
So much better than you.
I think some people take it for like depression and shit now, which is crazy. Like a real
Well,
small
if you feel
dose.
nothing, Scott.
Yeah.
No, it's like there's like a nasal spray.
You
that
can
take.
microdose that too.
Yeah.
And
You can microdose
anything.
anything. Speaking of,
I heard something. I've
Yeah,
heard something
shrooms,
about it, but
same.
it can't be good for you.
Yeah, I have a vape upstairs.
shroom, baby. Do that shroom.
A shroom vape.
Yeah.
Holy shit! I would actually be into that.
Would you like to take one home?
Have you
Yes,
tried it?
I would actually.
I have tried it, but I feel like I can't get the because it tells you it's like one puff does this, one puff.
Yeah.
You want a good day at work, 1 to 3 puffs. You know what I mean? I took like 8 puffs, and I was chilling. Like I wasn't like
okay.
you know what I mean? It wasn't fucking out of this world, but
Yeah,
it's pretty cool that they can do that too. Because this dude just talked about it recently on the Two Bears One Cave podcast.
Kreischer.
The what's his name? Segura, Tom Segura.
Oh, okay.
He has a guy that makes him DMT pens.
Oh, no.
Yeah,
I kind of want to
DMT pen. I would do it though.
He goes, you do it. He goes, you do a puff and you're gone. And he was
Holy
like,
shit.
and he's like, you go on the journey, man. And then you're like, what day is it? And he was like, it's like 8 minutes later.
That is so
And
crazy.
he's like, cool. And you do another puff.
Oh my god. See, that's the problem.
That's the problem.
That's that kind of stuff I get nervous with. The only time like mushrooms, I like it's over, regular. I've had when we went to Incubus concert and then had a mushroom pill but that's all it was. It was just mushrooms and it was ground up in pill.
Yeah.
So I was being very responsible and I only took 2. And I did not smoke. I didn't drink. I didn't anything because we were in Asbury.
Yeah.
4 hours later, I
still
thought I
tripping
was
balls?
I thought I was sober the entire time, and these were duds, and they weren't going to work. 4 hours later, it kicked in.
It took 4 hours.
Oh my god.
yeah.
Why would it take so long?
Probably because
That's what I was
You had
asking
to
because the
catch
myself.
the capsule. Yeah.
The capsule
It was
probably
the
didn't break
worst
down.
thing.
Get through that.
Worst
okay,
thing
yeah.
ever.
Damn.
Because then we were with
Luke and Steph.
No, who's the so we were with.
Gotta do
Sorry.
that. He's like a cop.
That's a good one.
Oh, I don't
Yeah,
know.
no. Well, imagine because then
32,
everybody
51.
left
32,
and
50.
everybody leaves, and I turned around to him and I'm like, because I was going to drive home, and I kind of pulled on his sleeve. I was like, I'm on drugs, and I need you to call your wife. So I wound up sleeping in their guest room.
Kathy? No, is that her name? Kathy?
I don't know, I wound up sleeping in their guest room. I found myself that night. I was like alone and I had all my water and like definitely came
All
out
my
a
water.
different person. I tried to sleep in their pool, like by their pool in the water, but they wouldn't let me.
Of course
yeah,
not.
well, I'm glad they made that choice.
Yeah,
Not allowed
I was
to do
like,
that.
I'll be fine
guys
here.
want
This
beer?
is where I live now.
Yeah, you got. Can you?
Yeah.
You got the openers right there and the beers in the thing. Don't pour them out. Just. You want a beer? Yes.
Of course, she's here.
Might as well.
When on Flatbush.
Way to tell everyone. They can't find us out. Put that times in too.
Good luck.
Good luck.
Good luck finding the basement.
Oh my.
Put the fucking lotion in the fucking basket.
Oh, dude. So funny.
Wasn't she an enormous fat person?
All right, buddy.
How's he doing?
He's good. He's a little more clingy now. You know, he's by himself.
Yeah.
Kind of sucks, but you know, we try to take him everywhere. It's like I was saying, we're probably making it worse.
Yeah, that's good.
Thank you, sir.
Who are you chilling?
Yeah, like I took him to Home Depot
lonely.
the other day. He was chilling, everybody's saying hi, but he wasn't like freaking with anybody or anything like that. And violation, you motherfucker. Gotta wait for Kenny.
Fucking thirsty.
I don't think I've ever had one of these before.
He just took a sip. He's like, I don't care.
Fucking thirsty, dude.
I got you. You didn't.
I don't care.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it shouldn't burst. Oh. So are you back? Are you back to work? Working? Are you back at
Insurance, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Not the other thing.
Not the other thing?
That's done.
Oh, you're not going in back there?
No.
Oh, all right.
No.
So you're full time in it?
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah, man. Yeah. Happy to be out of nightlife. It was that position I was in.
Yeah.
A server assistant. Like, come on, dude. I'm 42. Let's stop this shit. You know what I mean? Like, get it together. You know, like.
At least they didn't call you a Euro boy.
I know. That's what they used to call him over there. I know.
Like, what?
Euro.
I never understood that.
I never did either. I'm like, why you call him Euro?
Like, why are you fucking calling him a Euro?
Yeah.
What do you mean?
That is weird. What? Like, where did that come from?
I have no idea.
What does it mean?
I don't know. Motherfucker.
I don't know.
Your place invented that.
I know.
It doesn't exist
Wasn't
anymore.
your
because
place
of
too,
all
bro.
The J1s that came over and like they were doing those summer jobs and everything. And
So it's racist.
That's so racist. I was about to say that's racist as fuck. Yes.
Yes.
It could have been.
unless I made that up.
It
I
all
don't
goes
know.
back to no. You're
Yeah, that's
probably
the
right.
only
That's the only thing that
sensible
makes
conclusion.
sense. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, that's the only thing that makes sense from that.
Oh my god.
Yeah, it was always them that came over
That's-
that had that job.
fucking hilarious if it's true.
Yeah.
Dude,
You never
shit
put
back
that
in the
together,
day,
right? I
was,
never put that
back in
together.
the
I
day,
would
shit
never.
was just like, fuck it. This is
Say
a little
whatever the fuck
racist,
you want.
okay.
That's
Yeah.
a little
Now
racist,
nothing can be nothing now.
but
It's fucking
so
gay.
on point.
But it's hard to tell like what you're allowed to say and what you're not allowed to say. So
Just say
I
everything.
said something yesterday, and then there was the horse racing on, but it's the chariot racing,
Okay.
and
I think that shit's cool, actually.
I think it's
Chariot
weird as fuck. You're sitting in a thing and you've got the horse's butt like right here the whole time. But there was one of the my regulars were in, and I was like, oh, is this like special needs racing? Is this like handicap racing? And he goes, whoa, you can't say that. I was like, well,
How do you say it?
I'm
then?
waiting for the bad part. I'm like, God,
yeah, no,
Right,
but
right.
that was the thing. I was confused. I was
Special
like, but they
needs.
have. I just figured. I don't know.
'Cause they're
People
in it.
that can walk normally get on that chariot. Like they.
Well, the horses are pulling a wheelchair. What are you thinking?
I just thought
It's a
maybe.
legitimate question.
It is
Yeah,
a legitimate
what-
question, but I would have never fucking thought of that.
Me neither.
That's hilarious.
That's
but it's
hilarious.
not like I don't.
I wasn't being rude.
It's not
They
politically
Nah, you
correct.
were
You're like, were
legit
those retards
wanting
on
to
those
know.
chariots? you know what I'm saying? You weren't being like, right? Like, you're just asking a simple question.
this
like,
retarded
what
horse
are,
racing?
What are we
Right.
supposed to
Fair, are
say?
they doing that because they
If
cannot
you're genuinely
get on the
curious, right? If you're genuinely curious, what do you? How am I supposed to ask?
Yeah, no, like
Back?
that's the
You can't
best
say
way to do
Are
it.
those people okay? Like,
Right.
Can't say anything.
No, that's
Do
yeah.
legs work?
What do you mean? What does that mean? Do the legs work?
I don't know. They're just people make it awkward all the time now.
Yeah,
when you say
I don't give a
anything.
fuck about these people anymore.
Everybody's so sensitive.
I don't
dude.
care. I say what I say. If you have a problem, say something to me, and then I'll apologize.
Just be
Whatever.
like, what
And
am
then
I
I'll figure out if I
I'm
care
not.
or not.
I'm not living like this with these people.
But what are you supposed to say?
No,
Because
I'm
you know what it is? When you know the type of person you are, you know you're not a piece of shit. You know you're not a racist. You're not any of these fucking ists that these 38-20.
38-20.
When you know that, that's where I'm at. Like, I know the type of person I am. Yeah. I'm saying shit because it's the way I said it back in the day, and that's why I'm saying it. Maybe it's not right now. I get it. Okay, I'll try to watch it, but at the end of the day,
you're
I'm not making
conscious of it.
Yeah,
though, right? Like
yeah,
it's not like
of
you're
course.
trying to
Right.
say it wrong.
Yeah, I'm not
or-
calling
Right.
a retarded person a retard.
right? Exactly. That's the point. Exactly. Would never do that.
True, I wouldn't do it. Why is that
It
so
depends
funny?
on the emphasis.
What?
Is the emphasis on the foo or the fighters?
The fighters.
Foo fighters.
Seriously though, like that's
There
they
was
ha-
a guy that looked like Chris Walken last night in the bar.
Holy shit.
I saw him from afar, but his wife looked like a Karen type, so I didn't want to go over and say the.
Anybody ever tell you look like
you ever ask for
I
more
really
cowbell?
wanted to say it. It took a lot of me not to say it.
I'm sure.
God. That's so funny.
Yeah, man. I'm not
a
worried.
retard.
I ain't worried about these people, dude.
I worry about Scott.
Why are you worried about me?
I don't know, man.
Don't be worried about me.
And it's like he's like, I'm gonna be okay. I hope so.
I swear, I'm gonna be okay.
I hope so.
No, seriously.
I hope you're gonna be okay forever.
Scott's gonna be fine.
He is. I know. But
Scott can kill people
it
with
doesn't-
multiple different ways, with multiple weapons, including his hands and feet.
People that
Oh,
don't
no.
care are always gonna be okay.
Yeah, that's right.
It's
That's
just
how you
the
gotta
way
get.
it
You have to get
works.
to that point.
It's the way it works. Like
Yep.
I remember when I was was before I started working at Claridge. I could say Claridge, right?
Fuck
I
that
don't work
place.
there anymore. But we had gotten a job with the post office, right? Where we worked like during Christmas time. It was just basically filling up these tents for. And one of my friends who never ever ever fucking gives a fuck, right? He's late. We're like, fuck, man, waiting on this motherfucker. Oh my god, he just never cares. Goes in there, you know what I mean? We all go through the interview process. We all go through the fucking thing. He ends up being a fucking like supervisor, making like $30 an hour. And I'm like,
The worst of you guys.
The least amount of work. He had to do the least amount of work than all of us.
They
And he
just knew they
didn't
could
care.
see it. They could
Yes,
see it
they
from
were like,
afar.
they were like, this guy gets it. He's management material.
He's not going to take things too
And it's
seriously.
just always been okay. You know, he's always been okay.
Was this a government job? Like, so you were getting hired by the post office?
Post office, yeah.
Well, there, I mean, that's their answer right there. It's a fucking
It's
government
a
job.
government job.
Of course, it's the person who doesn't fucking care.
The
Right.
less you do, the more you get
Yeah.
paid.
The worst performer.
They fail. All they do is fail up.
I couldn't believe it. I was
Right.
like,
Fail upwards.
Yeah.
of course. They do. They fall up the stairs, not down the stairs.
Right.
Oh my god, falling up
Yeah.
the
It's the most
ladder.
annoying thing. Like, I mean, the fucking shit. The place we fucking work at, man. Kidding me?
Well,
All it is a bunch of people who failed up. Kidding me?
It's a great way to put it.
Seriously, good. No, it is. The fucked up part is not a joke. That's
No,
what's fucked.
It's not at all. Like,
Not at all.
Like that's fucked.
The people making like critical decisions.
Yeah.
It amazes me the decisions they make.
it's just the amount of not give a fuck.
Yeah.
Like how it affects you, what stresses it puts on you.
That's what I was about to say. They're not giving a fuck about you
adapt.
guys. Right.
I can tell you to do this. You have to adapt to it.
and that's how they look at
It's
it.
frustrating, and you know
Like they'll figure it out. They
Yeah.
figured it out for 20-something years.
we do,
They'll figure it out.
and we do.
Right.
That's why we're better than them.
That's a fact.
But you shouldn't even have to. You should just
No, you
listen to
shouldn't
what
have-
Oh,
they're saying in the first
It
place.
should be common sense to
to care, maybe.
No, or to ask people that do the job on a daily basis, like what makes
Right.
sense and what doesn't make
Right.
sense. Like, why wouldn't we know?
That's the biggest way to succeed is to listen. And if you're not, and it's not that you have to take everybody's advice. You don't have to sit there and do everything that everyone says. But found
Right.
the best way to go about things and to really do well is to listen to everyone and then take the bits and pieces that I feel will work and piece them together and move forward that way.
Yeah, if it doesn't
So,
make sense
like,
to you,
what's
you'd
so
be like,
hard
why do you
about
do
that?
that? How does that make sense
Yeah.
to somebody that's doing it
Right.
that way or whatever? You know what I mean? You
Yeah,
ask
so-
because you're like, wait, that doesn't make sense to me.
It's
you know what I mean?
it's arrogance, dude.
But
It's
they're
a-
just
it's arrogance
running,
of like
they're
they
running
think
these
they have
places
this
from
title.
behind a desk.
Right. When they think that
Like, dude,
title is like
Give me 2 weeks. Come back here with me for
Yeah.
not even give me a weekend.
it's
Come back here with me. Don't even just watch.
the people that are like the best owners are people like yourself who were in the trenches, front lines for years.
Oh, she was in it, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like can fully understand it and understand how much it sucks to be in that position and your higher ups, your managers won't even listen to you.
Well, the best
Like-
part about being in the position that I'm in now is that I work shoulder to shoulder with all of them. So it's even yesterday when we were slammed all day long. I was bartending, serving, busing. I was in the back helping them cook, expo.
Right.
I
Giving
was just
whipped
going
cream.
in one whipped cream.
Whipped cream.
I was a fun police. But that's really, and they see that too. So then when they see you working like that, they work hard too. And then it's
That's it.
all, at the end of the night, we all sit there like, I was good.
Yeah,
It was
well,
good.
they care about you, Jasmine. So when they care about your business,
Right.
They care about how this affects you. They're not going to steal from you. They're not going to
Yeah.
fucking, you know what I mean? Make
Yeah.
it so that it's harder on you. They care about you as a person. And
Yeah.
that in turn makes them care about your business.
You know where I learned
almost
that
like it's
from?
their business.
They
It's my
buy,
friend.
they
This
buy
is
into
somebody
her
that I
vision.
love, and I
Right.
don't want to. You know what I mean? I don't want to ruin her fucking life.
Yeah.
But that's where I learned that
Timestamp.
from.
Where is it?
44:13.
Oh, I
Damn,
said it
Scott,
twice.
you got busy.
Did you?
You did?
Twice?
Nah.
Oh, man. Now you got to watch the whole podcast.
Oh.
We'll have 4 views this time.
It was like 44:13.
No, but don't you remember in the beginning, like the CEOs used to come down,
Yeah.
everybody,
I
and they
remember that.
knew.
And they would stay. The thing is, these new ones don't stay till it's time. You don't see them after 5 o'clock.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like we used to have these guys would be like
I
12 o'clock
remember.
at night. I'm like, what the fuck are you doing here
Yep.
on a Friday? It wasn't every weekend, but it was a lot of
Yep.
weekends.
Short stints I worked there. I remember seeing them. You know,
Constantly. You knew them by the first name.
Yep.
Like they knew you by your first name.
Yeah, they knew my kids. They knew I was going to school. They knew everything that I was doing.
Yeah.
And that
So impressive, dude.
That alone made me
really
want.
was.
Yeah,
really
it was
really
great.
was.
It was like a mom and pop place, really.
Yeah, right. That big establishment, they made it feel like that.
It did.
That's
why we love it to this day.
Yeah,
And it's a shame that we're seeing
Yeah,
now it's the opposite.
its demise in a weird, you know what I mean?
Not only that, but like they were approachable. Like you could talk to them.
Yeah.
I can't talk to these guys.
No. Yeah.
They don't want to. First of all, they don't want to fucking. They're not listening anyway.
Right. They don't want to talk to you.
Yeah.
They don't want.
They
to
don't
talk to
even.
You.
The one dude literally won't talk to you.
That's crazy.
Literally,
So crazy.
just looks at you and fucking looks away and walks away. Doesn't even introduce himself. Doesn't say fucking shit.
That's so
And
gross,
what's
dude.
his title?
I don't even fucking know.
That's so gross.
It's better that we don't know.
Yeah.
I remember the one I use his initials, LM.
Yes.
So
Larry.
how'd you guys how'd
he
you guys
was
feel
amazing.
about? Okay, that's what I thought too. I remember I was working valet and I was
I don't think you probably mentioned
I
him.
Oh.
just said Larry. Larry, right?
yeah.
He didn't work there.
Such a great guy.
Dude,
He is a good dude.
I was walking to I was working valet there and I was walking towards cafeteria and I see him walking towards me. I'm like, oh shit, you know.
The guy.
Yeah, it's like, oh, there's the guy. And before I could say anything, he's like, hey, what's going on, Kenny? How you been? I'm like, I've
and
been
he keep
great.
track
And
of
I'm like, how are you?
4,000 names, you
Yeah,
know?
I'm like, how the fuck? And I was like, for the rest of the day, just stunned that this dude, with all of his responsibility and all the human beings he has to interact with, remembered fucking valet attendant's name. You know, and it's just stuck with me. And it's like, that shit goes a long way, man.
It does go a long way.
Like, because you can't do that unless you actually, I don't believe you can do that unless you really care.
You can fake that. You don't think
Yeah.
you can fake that.
Not on that level, because I'm sure I'm not the only person's name he remembered. You know what I mean? Like, he probably really did care and really loved what he did, you know, and cared
Have
about
to
the people.
care, because that's when you know you could do all this stuff on the back end. Like on my end, I do all the marketing and the menu creation, all of that stuff. So I do everything that I can possibly do with promotional work and blah 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 to get people to come and sit in that seat. So I do all this back end. They sit in that seat, and then you relinquish it to someone else to handle from there. And if they're not on point, if they don't do what they're supposed to, all the work that I did
like for
means
nothing.
absolutely
Yeah.
nothing.
Such
So
a good
it
point.
has to, they're the face of the company every single time.
Yeah.
And if you don't look at them like they're the face of the company and they don't have value, then everything falls apart.
Right.
Doesn't matter what I do. We can build a beautiful place, have beautiful product.
Yep.
Great
And if
food.
we don't have,
Yep.
you have to
Everything.
have
Yep.
someone deliver it. You have to.
Yeah.
So
That's a good point.
Very, very, very well said.
That
thank
being-
you.
Glossius.
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 Tango, El Gato, and Los Pantalones.
That said, how do we feel about
Oh, we doing politics? Oh man, do we have
Let's
the time?
go.
I would like to hear some things because I've been out of the loop a little bit here.
It's
I've
fucking,
been,
don't even bother going on social media. It's fucking awful.
Yeah, it's just a
no, I've been
shit show.
sidestepping a lot because I don't know, I'm tired.
There's just
Dude,
it's
it's
so
understandable.
hypocritical.
I am
It's
too.
so fucking it's so pinned against itself, and it's like
I don't know what to believe anymore.
we keep believing it. That's what I'm saying. Like we keep
Even
falling.
with this-
It's like I keep falling for it. I
Even
don't
with this
even, like, believe in
administration,
it.
I don't know what's starting
It's like
to happen.
really, like really. This
I
is
saw a
the
cool
this is the
parade
real
happened.
reason.
There was
Cool
a-
parade. What are you talking
I'm
about?
joking.
So mad about the parade.
Cool parade. No, it's because
that
it's
was a
weird. It's
trigger.
just
Will's,
weird.
Will's had a couple drinks.
Never been done. Has anybody ever done that? Like in America?
What?
Like a military parade? I mean, not like
I mean, not that I know of.
I
Maybe.
For
thought
their
that was just a
birthday?
North Korean thing.
You do realize it was the 250th anniversary of the
of the,
formation of the army.
yes,
too.
I do realize that. But it was also
That was
his
kind of
birthday.
a cool thing.
that was
But it was also his birthday. But you make it about yourself, and then people don't care, right? Because nobody basically showed up, right?
I don't know who showed up. I wasn't there.
I wasn't there.
Where did they have
never
the-
go.
I guess in
It was in
DC.
DC. They fucked the roads up. It's apparently $16 million in road damage they caused
And
from the
then-
tanks.
So when I saw the numbers of like 30, it was like 25 or 35 million that was put into the parade. Was that road damage incorporated into
No.
that, or that's on top?
That's just
Afterwards.
That's just right.
Because they're,
How could why? What? did
because
they
they're
do?
running a fucking like, I mean, I don't even know what a fucking tank fucking weighs.
ways. Yeah, who knows?
Oh, nobody did the
That's actually a
math
good
on that
question.
one. If it kind of,
Nobody did the
I actually
physics.
want to know that.
Just
How much
said,
is a
fuck
tank
it, do the
weigh?
parade.
it's cool. Just go.
He's kind of doing everything.
It's taking
And
out
it's like,
sidewalks.
some of it's good. This whole like
Running over kids.
just sweeping shit. Some of it works, and a lot of it's not good.
Even optically, like, it just doesn't look good.
All I'm saying,
What?
10 to 30 tons. Holy shit.
Dude.
Yeah,
the
that's-
fucking
the infrastructure
fucking
only handles so much.
Yeah, and then
right?
you gotta
1,000 pounds.
and then you gotta take into consideration if that was in a vehicle where it was rubber tires, it might not be that much damage done because there's not
Some of the
fucking
impact.
yeah. These shit's on these fucking
Absorbed.
steel tracks.
Yeah.
So
Fucking shit up.
all that weight is getting directly put,
Yeah.
straight
Chopping
into the
it.
Clearly,
road.
they
Right.
don't have any engineers on payroll, so they just.
Well, they don't listen to smart people. They just put people who put money up.
The whole
into those
the whole
positions.
problem I have with it is like we're gonna sit there and talk about how we're fucking like this deficit needs to be fucking handled,
Yeah, and then
and then we're gonna like you don't you can throw a fucking party
right.
for the anniversary of the military. That's cool, like or whatever. But
Yeah.
do you need to spend $90 million or whatever it fucking was, and then another $60 million fixing the fucking roads after you fuck them up? No, you don't need to do that. It's fucking stupid.
But you could have celebrated in different ways. Like you said, it was the 250th anniversary. Why don't they do
guy.
those things that they put on for people? Like they put on shows for these.
Like the
for these,
USO.
yeah, shit like that. Like, spend it for them. It should be for them. It shouldn't be like, look at this glorious army I have.
Yeah.
So
it's
and
a
so
officer.
I couldn't help but think that a lot of that had to do with the whole shit that's going on between Israel and Iran.
So it was like a
Almost like,
Like
hey
a
guys,
show, like
like
a
a
show of
flex.
force.
Yeah, like a
almost
flex
like
like a flex. Yeah.
I can't help not thinking that
Okay.
didn't have something to do with it. But at the same time, I'm like, do you really need to do that?
No,
Do they
they
not
know
know?
who the fuck
They
we
know
are.
we are,
Dude.
yeah.
Everybody knows the U.S. Military power and all that shit. It's just Trump doesn't do himself any favors, dude, when he does shit like this. This is where people have
Where you lose
the
it.
issue,
This is where
right?
you lose
And,
it.
and I
teasing-
understand it. Like,
The good thing is that all like the people like myself and like a lot of people who were kind of on that team
Yeah.
are sitting here like, do not fucking get involved in this shit that's going on between Iran and Israel.
oh my
dude.
god,
You fucking do
bro.
that, you're losing so many
But
people.
we
Oh, yeah.
already kind of have. Didn't we intercept some of their missiles?
Huh?
We supposedly intercepted some of the Iranian missiles.
Really?
How did we intercept them?
Like we used our whatever shit to block them. But look it up. I don't know. That's what I've heard. That we have, you have your phone. My phones are
What,
very
like a
dedicated camera.
shielding? Of something,
Like how
or-
They shouldn't need that shit. They got the fucking Iron Dome. What they need our interception skills for?
Yeah, just be like, did U.S. intervene and intercept anything from Iran, Iran, the black construction paper? Remember that? Jesus.
Yeah.
Like, Scott was like, Jesus Christ. I was like, yes, Scott, I know they're a superpower.
American forces did help intercept Iranian missiles aimed at Israel during the recent.
We're already in it, boys.
I don't get it on.
We're like so close to being in. We always
there.
are so close to being in a
there,
fucking
man.
hot war. Like,
We're there, dude. We're there. It's only a matter of time. And Elon Musk said we're about to go into a recession for the second half of the year, right?
bro,
According to his sources.
Are you guys feeling that at the casinos? Like people's wallets? Or
A
is
little
it-
bit. I think it's but I'm noticing older people don't have no problem spending money.
Yeah, well, they're all dying.
yeah,
Huh?
Like they're dying. They're like, I don't care.
right, as they should.
that.
That's the way I'm gonna fucking be. Fuck that.
Me
I'm not
too.
gonna be
Fuck
holding
that.
on to that shit. What am I holding on for?
That's where the money is,
Go.
man.
It's a fucking party.
It's with the older folks. But yeah. So we're already involved, see? It's kind of crazy.
Involved. Yeah, that doesn't not like, involved. How though?
You just read it.
No, I know. But what I'm saying is like,
What,
we're
like a
not
protection?
sending fucking troops over there.
We're not attacking them,
Yeah.
but we're kind of like, hey, don't punch Scott in the face.
Right.
Right.
the whole fucking thing. I hate it all. I
hate it all.
Me
Yeah,
too,
of
dude.
course,
I
it
hate
sucks.
the whole thing. Like,
It's unnecessary.
Let them figure out their fucking shit over there.
They'll never. No,
well,
they'll never.
we can't because
Well,
they have
Israel will never.
It's-
Will
Israel.
never
That's what-
leave them alone.
No.
Like
What about Israel?
we'll never leave them to fend for themselves, and that might be anti-Semitic to say.
Isn't that crazy?
Hey,
That
the world
saying
we live
that
in.
we maybe shouldn't help a country
But
and let
it's
them
been
figure their
going
shit
on
out is
for
anti-Semitic.
So long, right?
I know.
Yeah.
And then Trump's just kind of jumping in, I guess, because of his whole Christian or following. Wants to show that he's trying to help out, or
I just think he knows where his meal's coming from.
Yeah, I think
They have too much money
as much
invested
as,
in.
as much as we believe he's this fucking gangster, which he is, but there's always a bigger gangster.
He has an allegiance to somebody.
There's always a bigger gangster than you.
Yeah.
You don't know about
'cause
those.
I'm sure at this point he doesn't care who's following him or what's going on. It's not like he's going to run again. He already, got everybody's vote in, and that's the end of it.
I like to still think that he's, trying to do the right thing, but I think, dude, what happens is like these people don't understand the level of stronghold that some of these alliances are, like this Israel alliance. Like we don't even know, dude.
No, it goes
Like
way.
we
it
can
goes way
see we can
deeper.
see that it's deep, but it's like imagine being in that position and seeing it like, holy shit, I don't know if I can even go against this shit either. Like, because if I do,
Dave Portnoy said I can't make a joke. So,
well, if Dave said it, we can't do it.
what am I gonna do now?
Can't make
I guess we're
jokes. Give me jokes.
I guess we can't talk.
How many have to die for your jokes,
many-
Scott?
How many people?
How do you feel about Dave Portnoy? Are you familiar with Dave Portnoy, Jazz?
No.
He's the pizza guy, the pizza review guy.
Oh.
He started like
Yeah.
Barstool,
Yeah,
all
yeah.
that.
Sports and all that. It's a media company. Sports
Yeah.
media company.
Yeah, huge, actually, massive.
And he has a few podcasts under that umbrella, right?
A lot of them.
A lot of them.
A lot of them came
A lot
from
of sports ones.
Yeah, yeah.
It is what it is under that umbrella?
No, I don't know who they're. I know they're not under Barstool though.
Nobody like that, like Shay, none of them
Shay
are
isn't.
under that umbrella.
Nope.
So who would we know that's under that umbrella? It's a podcast.
I think whatchamacallit came from. I think one of the biggest ones in the world came from Call Her Daddy. You guys heard of that before?
I keep
No.
hearing about it. And I don't fucking.
She's
get
like
it.
the second biggest, like behind Rogan, like number 3 in the world or some shit. Like that.
Really? What is she?
Oh, that's the one that Kamala went on.
So apparently she started because I know a girl that like been following her, and she was like she started like it was like a kind of raunchy kind of like sex talk podcast, and people just fucking loved her, and she got to a point now where she like is interviewing fucking
world
the
leaders and
presidential
shit like that.
fucking candidate, yeah, Kamala Harris. You know what I mean? Like she's at that level just from talking about sex, and then she just started expanding, talking about everything else, and. Yeah, apparently she's obviously got something because people don't just follow you for no reason like that. Not on that level.
I mean,
You know what I mean? She got to have something for her to be that big. She's talented somewhere, some way, somehow.
What's it called?
Call Her Daddy.
Call her daddy.
Call her daddy. Yeah,
That's a fucking weird name.
I know.
What does it mean?
I don't know. What is
Well, if
porn?
it makes you think, I guess it's a decent name.
Right. Just like, all right, call her daddy.
What does pouring rain mean?
You don't know
It means
where he
where
reigns.
he pours, he
fucking
rains.
Where he reigns, he pours, or something like that. I don't fucking know.
Brian Flanagan.
Brian.
I remember Liz came on the podcast. She was like, "How do you feel about removing that poster?" I was like, "It will go with us forever."
Why would you want it removed?
Exactly. That's what I said. Like,
Yeah.
why would we do
What
that?
kind of question is this?
Silly.
Yeah.
So
she can't come
silly.
back on for saying that.
At least she left the rock.
That's one of the first tokens we have on here. And I just took my Blanton's thing.
I didn't bring a token.
No, you don't bring
Drop
tokens.
one
But
off.
we made you a token. Good. Does anybody want another beer? Because I only have 2 left.
Act surprised.
Act surprised. Ass.
Forget. Act surprised.
Whoever you want to give it to, because I'm sure we'll all have it.
Jazz, you want another beer?
No, you guys have it. You guys have it.
Ice raids, baby.
Ice rage.
Coming for you.
His tongue is so adorable.
Dude,
I already
Shit
called
is so
ice for this home.
he called ice on you.
For this hope, they'll never find this basement.
Please,
It's
dude,
like,
you
listen,
guys.
there's 2 Puerto Ricans.
Puerto Ricans. I love Puerto Rican. I feel Puerto Rican.
2 Puerto Ricans on.
this hair, I feel Puerto Rican.
Did you, please tell me you guys heard about the. So there was
there for you. It's not open right now.
federal. All right, so federal agents were raiding this home.
Okay.
Okay, in Minnesota.
Hold on, before you start the story.
Okay.
I'm going to give Jazz
Oh, yeah.
a little.
Token of
me?
our appreciation.
No, honestly, I'm in love with it.
That's great tequila, too.
It's beautiful.
I've never had that tequila.
It's good.
Good stuff.
Yeah.
Never had it. The bottle's beautiful. This is beautiful. I really appreciate you guys.
Appreciate you, Jazzy. You know what I mean?
it.
Hey.
I love it. It's the most thoughtful gift I got for my birthday.
We had to make it.
That is
you
pretty
so
funny.
much.
That's pretty
It's
cool.
functional,
kidding.
by the way.
Camera, see?
Doesn't just
It's a
look
tea
cool.
kettle.
It's a little tea kettle. That's exactly what that's for.
Oh,
exactly
I
what
love
it's
it
for.
so much.
You're welcome.
These are the bestest friends a girl could ever have.
We're glad you like it.
I love it.
Paraphernalia.
Paraphernalia.
That's
Just
what
have
we
to
give
keep
you.
I
it
love
away
that.
from
I
the
love
Got your
that.
children.
smoking phase.
I always love that word.
Put it on display.
Paraphernalia.
Paraphernalia.
Beautiful. Have you been to that tequila bar in Margate yet?
I keep hearing about it.
Ooh, but that's
Cool.
It's
It's
good.
really
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They have so many tequilas because it's a liquor store downstairs.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of stuff that I have never seen that I can't find, and they have it. And then the rooftop's really cool.
Yeah, that's cool.
Sorry,
Beautiful.
whatever time that was.
Burp into the
Delete
microphone.
that.
Luke does.
Yeah, you're gonna burp in the mic and then blow.
And then break.
Yeah, that's the Luke. That was the
I'm
best.
a lady.
He did that. he burped right into the. and
It
then-
just came out. I don't think he did it on purpose.
I know. But
It was like, boom, and he's like,
Who did that?
Luke.
Luke burped straight into it and then blew.
I think it just
Like you
came
did it
out.
backwards.
It just came out of him. It was so funny. Couldn't stop
man.
laughing. Stupid things that happen here.
Yeah.
So what were we
Oh.
about to?
About the
So there was a federal raid on this house, right, in Minnesota, which is Minnesota's like fucking California's retarded cousin. You know what I mean?
is it really?
Oh yeah,
I didn't
As
know.
far as
I
like
didn't
its
know
politics.
Yeah,
Politics.
politics,
Is
yeah.
that bad? Okay.
it's really bad. So a whole bunch of people come out and start trying to stop these federal agents from raiding this house.
Okay.
Because they're watching the news, they're watching everything that's happening in California. They're like, oh, I'm gonna fucking stop these cops. I'm gonna stop this and blah blah blah. They all get fucking arrested. All the fucking protesters get fucking like violently arrested because they were actually raiding a home that was pretty much a human trafficking ring, and they found 900 pounds of methamphetamine along with it inside the home.
Holy shit.
This was like a 2-year-long fucking investigation.
Investigation.
And had nothing to do with ICE at
People
all.
are thinking they're raiding and taking fucking legal.
But that's what media does, dude. Like you're. A lot of people are fucking angry about things that I don't think are really happening,
well,
or not in.
And they,
Like,
well, now, dude, these people like are getting like these people who are like trying to stop these cops are fucked.
oh yeah,
Like
because they're getting charged.
huge, like crazy
Yeah.
charges.
But how did they
Yeah,
know that the cops were on the way to the house like that? So it was.
I think they just probably saw the trucks
I just saw him.
and saw them
then
like
they went
posting
in.
up outside, and they're like, "Oh, let's get them."
And you know how it spreads. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
You know, I had so I actually have been back and forth with immigration for the past like 3 months now, talking directly with counselors and different. My one dishwasher, she actually left her children in Mexico about 2.5 years ago, and to escape some bad situation,
Right.
came here, got herself all legal, all the other stuff. And then her children, who are 10 and 15, ran across the border by
Holy
themselves.
shit.
Jesus.
They got caught up in Texas, and she couldn't get them across because as soon as she was about to get them, Trump got into office, and then all
All the paperwork stops. Yeah.
there was a ton of stuff that happened, like
Yeah, even
crazy
happened to
amount.
Kevin. Trying to get. Remember the Kevin we had on? Kevin from Britain.
Oh, yeah.
Happened to him too. Everything was just stopped.
Damn.
It wasn't like backtracked. Like
Just
it wasn't like
stops.
it's just all the processing stopped. Okay.
All of that stopped, but then all of these new litigations came through. So she had to get sponsorship. So I was like, nah, nothing going on. So
You have nothing going on.
It cracks me up with that. That's the thing. I got
Yeah.
I have
nothing.
nothing
So,
going on. A bar,
I
3 kids,
sponsored
Yeah,
anybody
that's
else.
all.
councilwoman.
No big deal. Yeah.
I sponsored the
Pottery.
children. I sponsored them. So now I'm legally bound to them. Like I actually did a dumb thing. It was kind of like, I don't know why I'm never going to forget this for the rest of my life. It's just a thing. Because I went in to go get fingerprinted, and I've never been fingerprinted before. And it was a really small office. There was only 2 women that were in there. I was the only one walking through. And she asked me, which at the time seemed odd, and I reacted dumb to it, because she goes, do you have all of your fingers? And I was like, yeah, I do. And then I started laughing at how stupid it was, and she looked at me, she's like, can you just put your hand here and let's just shimmy on? Because I don't know, it just seemed like a weird thing to ask.
That is a weird thing to fucking ask. Who gets asked that?
But I guess, I mean, yeah, there's people without one or two.
That's still weird.
Yeah.
Maybe they have to put that down. Like, you don't have a...
Yeah, but the weird thing was I looked down to check.
Oh, so you were being weird.
I was weird.
She
I
being
made
weird
it
or
awkward.
am I being weird?
No, I know. Right out the gate, every time, I'm the one that makes it awkward. It's
As I
me.
tell you, I was like, some stranger...
That changes the whole thing.
Some stranger remembers you
You
forever.
looking down the check.
Yeah. I
There
was
are,
like,
there
no.
are tons of strangers that remember
Yes,
Jasmine
actually,
forever.
yes, I do. Yeah, I'm the one that makes it awkward.
Counting and shit.
But yeah, well, now I'm in the system.
Okay.
So, but I was actively, like, I just sit on FaceTime with the girls at least once a week. And they don't speak English, which that was fun. So we had to talk through a translator and I had to get to know them.
Wow.
And then, but I had a lot of active talks with them. And then I got close with the one guy that was taking care of the girls. And I was asking all the questions, because it's interesting.
Yeah.
And they have multiple facilities that pretty much look like prisons that are totally booked out. They cannot fit any more people in there. And a lot of people jammed into rooms. I saw the rooms that the room that the girls were in, very small, like a poster on the wall, a little bit of lighting. And they were in there for 9 months.
Jesus. Fuck.
Their schooling, they took all of the kids, brought them to an auditorium between the ages of 2 to whatever it was, 16, 17 years old. And they basically were like, this is math. And then hand them all a pamphlet. They hand them, it's...
Fuck, dude.
And that's what they had for schooling for almost a year. So not to say, I mean, they ran across the border, you know? But they were instructed to somehow.
They're kids.
They're not going to know, and they
I hate
just
when
ran.
kids get caught up in this shit, dude.
They ran across the border on their
part
own.
That sucks. Yeah.
But then Maria,
All right, 107.
Do you know how many people named Maria?
I don't know.
It's for real.
We'll just say Shahid.
But she was really upset. She was having a really hard time, and she was about to leave and grab them and then head to Guatemala. That was her plan. So I kind of intercepted it, helped out, and I actually met the girls on last Sunday.
Oh, yeah?
So,
shit.
Yeah, it was really neat to see them all together. Yeah. I only sponsored the 2, and all of a sudden there was 3. And she's like, "Oh, my bambinos, there's 3." And I was like, "Where'd that one come from?"
Yeah.
But they're united now, so it's good, and they seem all right. And as long as Maria takes does what she's supposed to do, because otherwise I'm legally bound to make sure they go to school, that they have a good shelter over their head, like all that kind of stuff. So, knowing my life, they'll probably wind up at my house at some point, and I'll be like, "Oh yeah, I did that." So,
yeah, you did. Awesome.
But it was really cool to see them all together, because that was a definite process, and it was sad to see.
It is sad, yeah. It's a shame.
Yeah, it sucks, man. The whole thing sucks, because it's like
you have these stories, and then you have horror stories, and then you have every situation. You can't look at 13 million situations.
This is
individual. You know what I mean? On an individual basis.
Right.
It's impossible.
Yeah.
It's totally fucking impossible.
It is.
And that was 100% planned to make it impossible.
Make it impossible.
Right.
Yeah. 100% that was planned.
Yeah.
Everything that fucking happened in the past, like at this point, like I look back and I'm like, there's no way that these guys weren't fucking looking at this and being like, yeah, this is gonna be chaos. This is what we want. We want chaos.
Well, it is.
The more chaos, the easier it is to control these fucking idiots.
That's right.
That's the thing too, because like at my bar, it's a lot of blue collar worker, and they base their businesses off of all of this. Having, that's their workers, that's their teams, their crews,
right.
Their crews,
and a lot of them are just disappearing, and they don't have other people to fill in.
Yeah.
So they don't have people like working for them anymore, and they're having trouble.
Yeah.
It's not like they're going to have people jump on board and start doing.
If you get all these people out of the country, then what?
Then what?
Then what? Like,
Well, then we can.
Do you think these corporations will start paying a livable wage all of a sudden? Like,
no, then
where Americans are going to want to do this stuff, or
I forget how many immigration judges there are. I think there's 200. I think there's 250 or something like that.
Okay.
Of the 250, 200. There's 6 of them that are hearing actual cases of people who are trying to legally immigrate, not people who are already here.
Yeah.
So this is and that's like, oh, well, we need to make the system better. Like, well, yeah, but first we got to get all of these other people the fuck out.
Yeah.
In order to make it legal for these, make it easier, so the other 242 fucking judges can start hearing cases for people who didn't just jump the border and kind of try to jump the line.
Yeah.
That's the problem. That's why it's so fucked up.
And that'll always be
it's
like
never
the bottleneck or the issue because
and it's like I said, it's 100% planned.
Yeah.
That way, because the more chaos we create, the more because really, what are we really making an argument about? Are we really trying to make an argument for fucking cheap labor?
That's true.
And that's fucking, because that's, I mean, if you really
terrible.
think about it, it's fucked up.
It's pretty shitty. No, it is.
It's pretty shitty, but
we based the fucking economy on it, though.
Yeah.
That's the fucked up part. Is like, it's going to not be good.
But we've never not based the
that's what I'm saying.
American economy on it. You know what I mean? Like, America's the richest country in the world, technically, because it was built for free. Mm-hmm. Right? And how do you get fucking cheap or free labor? Slave labor.
Right.
But getting them out, is that a detriment to the country to take them all out first? Like, do you have a plan after that, or should we have these policies in place and then deal with what we have?
I think there should be a. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
I was just like talking to immigration. They're not really getting them out. They have them in holding cells, like all over. And then who pays for that to keep them fed and taken care of?
Yeah,
and
you know,
and it's so.
Who does?
And they're booked up. They've got thousands and thousands of people down there, so they're not like really pushing everybody out. They've got tons of people just sitting there in limbo. For example, if I didn't sponsor those girls, they'd still be there.
Still be there.
Right.
Yeah.
How long would they have been there for?
Right.
How else would they have gotten out? She wasn't going to find anybody else to sponsor them. You know, she was trying. Finally, because she wasn't saying anything to anyone, and she finally opened up to the staff. And then that's when we found out that there was a problem. But, I mean, how long would they have sat there? And then if they didn't find anybody, what were they going to do with them?
Yeah. That's the question. Yeah, what happens with them?
So nobody has a real solution. I think there's long-term solutions. Like you said, change the laws and,
Yeah.
But dealing with it now is impossible, like you say.
It's impossible. It's absolutely impossible.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, you can stop people from coming in, but now we have to deal with every single person who's here.
Yeah. And then how do we do that?
How do you do that? You can't have 13 million
trials.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
I know.
And that's
but that's what we were talking about with the due process. Like, there's people that they can just hold you forever because there's not right.
Yeah.
Like she's saying,
I don't really get all that either, because it's like, at the same time, like, what is so hard about being like, hey man, how long have you been here? Okay. Right. So I think there should be like kind of like a great source, like, all right, listen, if you've been here for, let's say
5 years.
Okay, let's say the cutoff is fucking 5 years.
Okay.
Right? If you've been here for less than 5 fucking years, sorry, you just get sent the fuck back, right back. If you have been here for 5 years, you need to prove that you have somehow been, like, first of all, never have zero criminal record. Mm-hmm. You have somehow contributed to this country in a way that's positive. So whether it be whatever, if you're picking fruit, or if you're fucking
working
construction, anything.
Yeah.
You're a hard-working person who shows up to work.
Because they do pay taxes. Illegals do pay taxes.
Yeah.
And so they need someone to vouch for them. They need to have an American citizen vouch for them.
Yeah.
If you don't have those 3 things,
like an employer, right?
Yeah.
It's like, hey, this guy's been working with me for fucking 6 years.
Yeah, like, I have nothing bad to say.
I have nothing bad to say about this guy.
Right.
Yeah.
If you don't have those 3 things, sorry, beat it. You got to go.
And then, but how? Like, How do you expedite that process?
Yeah, because
The
that's the
volume
part
is,
that they get
that's
caught
the, that's
up.
what the
That's-
issue is. It's
yeah.
the volume of people. Because like I said, I was talking
It's
to
so many.
How does every other fucking country in the fucking world do this?
well, because they don't have this many.
But they don't let it start. They don't let it get to
Exactly.
this
That's
point.
the
And that-
problem.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like, that's why you say it was on purpose. They don't let it get to this
they
point.
never let it
Vetting
get to this
process.
point.
Like, look at Poland right now.
Yeah.
Poland is crushing it, dude. By the way, thank you.
Thank you.
Crushing it.
with
right now.
what in terms of like
With
the immigration shit?
They're like, nobody's coming in.
oh, you told me that too. Yeah,
Nobody comes in. They're like, you know why we don't have any terrorist attacks?
because there's nobody.
Because you're not allowed in here.
You can't
You're not
come
allowed in
in
here
here, yeah.
to try to fuck up our culture. Like this
Yeah.
is what we are.
You're racist if you do that in America.
Exactly. They're like this. We are Polish. We are keeping Poland Polish.
You know who has?
But-
I was just out in France. I don't know, whatever, 2 months ago, and their biggest thing right now, because they're having a really bad immigration problem as well, and they pay insane amount on taxes. Like their paycheck, it's like 63% of their paycheck goes to taxes. But then they're surrounded by
Slave.
all of these countries where it's the Muslim communities coming over, and they have got multiple wives. So
Yep.
what the
So they
government
have 18
does,
kids.
Yeah.
18 kids.
They're
Yeah.
taking
what,
over, yeah.
but what the government does is pay each wife out. Like they supply a home for each one. So you've got a
Holy
guy that's coming
shit,
in
dude.
with 4 or 5 wives, and then every single one gets a home, and then French are paying for all of this, and they're talking about more tax spikes. That's all I heard the whole time I was out there. Like they were just livid about everything that was going on that end, and it's really
That's
it's
why
the
Ari Schaefer-
polygamous way.
That's what he said.
Yeah, and it's
He's like, violence is
if
the
we
only
think
thing
that
that
it's
changes
bad
anything.
here, like that's pretty insane.
We're on our way, aren't we?
Not really. Not like they are. Not like
like
Europe.
that.
Europe is
Did you
fucked
see
up,
this?
dude.
I put
The
that
EU
in the
is so
channel if
bad.
you guys
Yeah, I saw.
watched it.
I
You saw that shit.
Yeah.
The dude was like talking about how he's like,
It's like-
this is fucking 10. He's like, this is 10 years
ago.
old.
16 years ago.
At a certain point, it's like irreversible that you're going to be able to save whatever your culture is. It's going to be completely taken over. Like in 40 years, France will be like almost all Muslim.
Islamic, yeah.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
it's crazy.
Yeah, so they really didn't have a lot of
Wild,
good things
dude.
to say. But it's it's my partner and her husband, they're born and raised out in Poland, so I'm around a lot of Polish people, or, if not, then I, hone in, listen to the phone conversations and stuff. But Trump coming into office, Polish, they don't like Trump. They're like anti completely. They think it's crazy. They think there's all these things. And then, but my partner and her husband love him. But because they've been in America now for, 20 years. So
yeah.
they're business people.
Right,
So,
right.
obviously they're going to sway that way.
Yeah.
And they go back and forth with them all the time. They're on this text thread with like 20 Polish people and trying to stand up for Trump and what he does. And they're like, no, I don't know. I guess the news that they watch, it demonizes
actual
him.
facts.
Yeah, well, it does
like
make him look like a really bad guy.
You know
like,
why, right?
Why?
Because it's ran by the EU.
Yeah, well,
EU hates Trump.
Yeah.
well, of course.
But-
Why wouldn't they?
The Polish prime minister fucking. I'm not sure what his
Affiliation.
his opinion is on Trump, but he's like super ultra conservative, like Catholic. Nobody comes in. We're keeping Poland fucking strong, like kind of like a stronghold. They're like, we learned from World War II. We know what happens.
Yeah.
So like, oh fuck, like how are you gonna fucking argue with that?
Because that's very
Yeah.
fresh. I mean, that generation
that's
is
the-
what's
that's the thing
here
in
now.
America.
Like they know that they watched the Berlin Wall. They watched all of these things happen. They
Yeah.
know. Like my partner talks about, being in line with one piece of paper, and that's the paper you brought to the grocery store, and then they gave you an exact portion of what you
Dude.
were to take home.
People don't
And
understand how real
she's
that-
our age. And
Yeah.
for her to remember that does something to a person,
Yes.
Of course. And then you come here and you can get whatever you want.
Right.
How long?
You appreciate it.
How old were they when they came?
We
here?
take it for granted.
Right, 'cause we all,
They were
always had it.
18. They came over on a sailboat and like they spoke no English.
So that was like right after they broke away from
Yeah.
Soviet Union.
Came here and just clothes on their back. They started working at a fast food place on the expressway, actually toward Atlantic City, and spoke no English.
Oh, wow.
And even then, like they were trying to make them work all these hours and do all this stuff, and they were like, "Fuck this noise," and they took off. and they lived out of a motel and got themselves established. They started working at a flooring company, started learning English.
I always have so much respect for these stories, dude.
Now they have multiple
We're
properties.
spoiled, man.
That's it.
There's no other way to say it.
We
And
don't know
everybody's
that level of
we-
struggle.
We don't.
We don't know it.
And we're gonna learn the hard fucking way.
It looks like it, dude.
That's the only thing.
I was talking to my boy. I was telling you guys, one of my close friends that works as an ICE agent. And he was like, I don't have anything positive for you, bro. He was like, I think we're very close to the end. He was like, between the fact that no one can agree on anything, no one from each side talks to each other, it's only insults when they disagree. Mm-hmm. The loud minority,
they only highlight what you do wrong,
is getting legislation and things put in place when most people disagree with it but won't say anything. Yeah. He's like, by the time people want to speak up, we're gonna be looking around like, how the fuck did we get here?
Yeah.
And I'm like, he's like, I don't know, bro. He's like, I see this shit every day and it's bad. He's like, I don't know how we reverse it. He's like, I'm not saying it's definite. He's like, I just don't see it. I'm like, fuck.
Nothing's guaranteed. And the way that these generations are coming up behind, especially the bulk of the people that come in and work on my end, they're anywhere between 18 to 24, 25. Mm-hmm. And I'm very fortunate to, and we've filtered out quite a few. But to get good work ethic, to get people to understand like the value of what it is to really put your time in and to do. But the amount of people that I can't tell you how many people who come into the kitchen alone, who turn around and if you make them move from one spot and to say they're like, it's a 4-point kitchen, they have to do their position and say they have to do prep work. You know how many people have come to me and they're like, listen, you said I was just going to be doing position 2. Now I'm doing prep.
That's
so
insane.
It looks like,
you're in the fucking
I might
kitchen.
need like $2-3 more an hour if you're going to ask me to do a little bit more. Like this is not how this works. We're not working in this big corp. We don't have 30 people in the back where you can stand stationary and not move. It's a small kitchen. It's a 4-point fucking kitchen. So you're going to have to move around and do more. And why? And then I've had people after this just happened a month ago. A guy worked 2 shifts and tried to get me to give him more money because he had to do prep. And that's not the first one I'm saying. Mm-hmm. And then you look at these small businesses and then even with immigration, cheap labor, all this stuff, even when they're talking about the service industry, about how they're going to take away tips and we're going to have to sit there and start paying like full wage. How do we afford that? Being a small business, how are we supposed to afford that? We're already paying an insane amount on payroll. You've got inflation that's happening. We're literally, if you don't stay within 5%, we're losing a ton of money.
Right.
And you've got somebody calling because they have to move from position 2 to prep work.
Yeah.
They want $5 more.
There's a strange entitlement of this new generation coming up into the workforce.
They don't.
That makes no sense to me.
So
we make it easy,
right? And I fully agree with that. Here's my question: where do you guys think that comes from?
Because us,
exactly.
We're the ones that raised them. Our generation has raised a bunch of fucking
pussies.
Yeah, no, it's been the pussification of the U.S., dude.
Everybody gets a trophy, man.
Yeah, participation trophies. That's it. Right.
Not only that, but they also came up in an age where everything is instant.
That's what
they never. They don't want to wait for anything.
Yeah, you don't wait for anything.
Instant. You got soft parents,
instant gratification. You have soft parents.
This instant everything, immediately internet generation. Like
we're the last generation.
We're the last one. We really are the last ones to live both. Like half our lives were without it, and up until this point, the other half has been with it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but that's something like growing up. It's always my parents worked really hard. We all worked really hard. Yeah. With my kids, you work hard. I don't care. And the thing is too, like being at the bar and then they're in like this industry now and they've been growing with me. My kids will walk down the bar and shake hands and look people in the eye and ask them how their day is. And we've always done that even when we went out to go eat. Yeah. The kids and I play cards every single time we go out to a restaurant. And people look at us so weird. And every single time the server's like, what are you guys doing? Like, we're fucking playing cards. They're not, we always play gin rummy everywhere we go. Yeah, but it's cool because we interact with each other. And then And they've been ordering their own food ever since they could talk, you know? So that was where I think they learned all of that the most, was when we went out to go eat.
Dude, that's so important.
They had to talk to the server.
I'm big with that too. If going out, if I go somewhere with my kids, I want them to see how I interact with people. Because they don't learn by what the fuck we say, you know. They learn by what you do and how you behave. And when you go out and you interact and, you know what I mean, they see, okay, oh, this is how my dad's talking to this person. Okay. Oh, this person's smiling back at my dad. I guess what he did was the right thing. Or he said, you know what I mean? Like, and they see that. And that's how they, you know, that's how they learn, dude.
It's tone. A lot of kids aren't exposed to tone. And they don't know what these tones mean. They don't know when you're being sarcastic.
Mm-hmm.
We make jokes at the bar all the time, and kids look at us like we're like.
I know sarcasm's so important.
Yeah. It is, though. Important. It really is.
That's what got like my middle son, especially. That's what got him into so much trouble because he like speaks fluent sarcasm, and kids his age would just be like, ugh, they wouldn't get along with him. But he says the funniest. Kills me.
We were at her little surprise birthday party.
Sorry, I missed that by the
way. And he was cutting the cake. Tyler, right?
Yeah.
Tyler.
He's cutting the cake, right? And he's like, he doesn't care. He's like, and the more you give him shit, the worse he cuts the cake, right? So then his grandma, Jasmine's mom, comes and she's like, Tyler, you know, and he's like, Grandma, what were you doing before this? And it was just the greatest.
He said it so seriously.
He said it so seriously, and me and Luke were fucking dying. He's like, Grandma, what were you doing before? Like before you're shitting on me, what were you doing? Like, go back to that. Like it was so.
What were you doing before this?
Because he was
such a great way to shit on somebody. It's so respectful.
That's what I mean. This is my grandmom. I can't say get the fuck out of here.
Right, Grandma,
what were you doing before this? Yeah, you were taking care of the wings. Go over there.
Take care of the wings.
Because he was cutting it fine, you know, and the more shit that Jasmine, because Jasmine was one of them.
Yeah.
We were kind of giving him shit.
Brought my mom.
And he was cutting it worse. Like people were getting diamonds, rectangles.
He was flipping it upside down. I was like, all right.
His little sister was like, I want the flour. He cut the flour in half. Like he's like, shut the fuck up.
Straight down the middle.
Let me do this. Like nobody's learning.
You get what I give you.
Nobody's learning. The cake's almost gone. nobody's learning from his sarcasm. It was so great.
Yeah, no, it's great to watch.
You'll get nothing like it.
It is great to watch. You did a good job.
Thank you.
He's great.
Yeah.
He'll be okay.
At the very least, if you can like teach them sarcasm, then they'll be fine in life.
Yeah.
Tone. It's all about tone.
It is.
Because he was like, Grandma, what were you doing?
One of the things I noticed, so Callie had like her couple friends, like it was the last day of school, and she's like, "Hey, you're gonna be home?" I'm like, "Yeah." I'm outside working on the truck. I'm like, I'll be in the driveway, whatever. She's like, all right. She's like, because someone has to be home. I'm like, our boy's coming over. She's like, yeah. I'm like, okay, fine. That's fine. I'll be in the driveway working on the truck.
Right.
Kind of like make sure this motherfucker comes up and says hello to me.
That's right.
You know what I mean?
Exactly. Motherfucking right.
So he comes over. Apparently, like this kid's like nothing. He's not he's not a suitor.
How
or
old is
anything
Callie?
Like should be 15.
He's not courting Callie.
So So it was Callie, her two girlfriends, and then just one boy. All three of the girls come in the garage like, hey, Scott, what's up, blah, blah, blah. Boy doesn't do anything. I'm like,
that's horrible.
You gotta teach him.
Like, why are you going to make me do this to you?
Like, I'm like, whatever. And I right then I got a phone call from the groomer and they're like, yo, you have to pick up Boomer, right? So I was like, yo, I called Sarah. I was like, hey, I got to go pick up Boomer. I'm like, what am I supposed to do? She's like, just make sure they stay outside, right? I was like, all right. So I go out back and I come up, I'm like, hey, Kyle, I'm like, I got to go pick up the dog. I'm like, you guys got to stay outside, okay? She's like, yeah, that's fine. And the kid, like, he won't like pick his head up. And I'm like, I'm looking at you. Stay outside. And he's like, oh, no, it's good. It's cool. It's fine. Yeah, it's fine. He's like, I'm like, all right. And I just kind of like laughed. You know what I mean? I'm like, I'm just messing with you, but I'm not.
Right.
They
Okay?
need that.
That's right.
He's like, I'm just kidding, but I'll fucking kill you.
Right.
Yeah,
right. Yeah.
It's just weird. And I said something to. What's the matter?
Is it okay if I run to the bathroom?
Yeah, go ahead.
Thanks.
You know where it is?
Yeah.
All right.
I'll find it.
No, as long it's just like, I'll find it. You know, it's when you first
I
come in.
know where it
it's-
is,
all right.
but I'll find it.
Lights on the outside.
Yeah.
Yes, it is.
Yeah,
But I said something to Sarah about it. I was like, yeah, I'm like, it's kind of weird. Like these kids don't come up and like every house I went to, especially if it was a girl's house.
The first
thing I did, I walked right up to the fucking like.
That's right.
I was crazy too. I would hug mom.
Yeah.
Hi, I'm Will.
Yeah.
How you doing? You know, like I'm trying to fucking. You know,
That's right.
Smooth it out, son.
Smooth it out.
right.
Exactly.
Yeah,
like, you know what I mean? I'd be like, hey, shake hard shake. Dad.
That's
You know what
right.
I mean? Hey, how you doing?
I would like a smooth road to the vagina. Any speed bumps. Let's get all these obstacles out the way
I'd be
right
at the
now.
top of the stairs. You two, stay down there.
The kid was nice though. I wish I honestly thought about pulling him to the side and just being like, hey man, like I'm not a dick. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm like, but you're gonna run into some guys who are fucking total assholes.
Yep.
I'm like, it's gonna go a long way if you go up and shake their hand.
That's it.
Right
Yeah,
as
you
go.
could have
I
had
should
a
have said
teaching
something.
moment right there. You
Exactly.
know?
I didn't. I was like, I'm just gonna go keep walking on my truck.
Yeah.
Watch this kid struggle in life.
Fuck this little bastard.
Your parents.
Somebody else will teach him.
Your parents failed you.
Yeah, your parents should have taught you better.
But it's just I don't feel like any of them are like that. There was one kid that Callie was dating for a little bit, and he was like that. He came right up, like shook my hand. I was like, damn, dude. I'm like, all right, what's up?
Nice.
Son? Yeah. He tried to give me the like, yo
dap.
man, how you doing? Like,
he
I
did.
was like,
Yeah.
mad, damn it. I was like, damn it.
He's too cool. I don't want to like
damn
you.
it.
No, I'm like, that's too.
I'm supposed to not like you.
Right.
that.
Right.
He's
Don't
like,
do
hey
that.
Scott. I was like, I wasn't even like I was like mad, but I wasn't. I was like, that's kind of cool.
You're like, you little motherfucker. I'm
came
not
in
supposed to like this.
Came in like
that
dabbed
shit
me up. I was
Yeah.
like, damn, dude. Fuck, you can't be doing
Like
that.
mad comfortable, like he
Yeah.
knew you and shit too.
Yeah.
Like not awkward at all.
Shit.
Like,
Yeah. You came
You
in
can trust
clean.
me.
like yeah, you're a little fucking charismatic little fucker. Get the fuck out of here.
I see you.
Bring a nerd in here, please. Please bring an awkward nerd here.
Awkwardness.
That's mannerly. That's what I would like for you to bring home.
How about you, Jazz? Have you had any like experiences with Zoe and boys?
Oh no.
No?
How old is
Zoe's not
Zoe?
there yet.
14. What do you mean she's not there yet?
She's on another level, that girl. So she's going into high school. But for example, so my partner at the restaurant,
Jasmine, your mic a little
Yeah.
closer.
sorry,
There we go.
that's how we got to know each other. Our daughter and her daughter and my daughter are best friends. And there was a boy in school that liked Zoe's best friend, Maya. Okay. So he's constant all the time, trying to talk to her, everything else. I picked them up from school. Zoe gets in the car. She's like, it's the end of that. I was like, end of what? And Maya's like, Zoe threw Connor into the locker today. I was like, why did you do that? Why would you do that? She's like, I had enough of it. He's like all over Maya and bothering her. So he's not going to bother Maya anymore. Like, okay. All right, you all right?
Jeez.
And she's tiny.
She is tiny.
She's
Yeah.
small. She looks like she's 10,
Right.
she's no business throwing anybody into a locker.
But she did.
Yeah, I mean, I'm proud of her, kind of. It's
Well,
fine.
if Maya didn't want to be bothered, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I'm sure I told Maya that Zoe's not allowed to dictate her love life. So she's
Right.
got to let things happen on their own. It's not very fair to do. The boys are a different story though. I mean, my oldest is very particular about who he dates, and he's been dating this one girl. I love her though. She's adorable.
She seemed
and
nice.
Yeah.
she's been around probably 9 months now, somewhere in there.
Okay.
And to be honest, on that surprise party, because the kids were all acting really weird, and Zoe asked me if I wanted to go antiquing after school. I was like, "What are you talking about?" And then
Who
Kate
else's kid asked that?
Only
Jasmine's
She'd be like,
kid.
"What are you talking about?" Of course, I want to go.
yeah,
antiquing.
well, I was like, "You never want to go with me. Why do you want to go today?"
Right.
And then Caden, when I got home, he's like, I want to talk to you. So could we just go for a walk and get coffee? And his girlfriend was there. I was like, all right, this is it. This is the talk.
Yeah.
I'm going to become a grandma today.
Oh my god.
And
you thought that's
I
what it
totally
was?
thought, because he was being so weird about it, that
Okay.
the whole walk to go get coffee, we sat down and he was making weird faces and stuff.
Yeah.
I was just waiting for them to drop a bomb on me, you know?
Right.
So I was trying to be as cool as possible the whole time. And then eventually they were like, all right, Caden turned around. He's like, I just wanted to take my 2 favorite ladies out. And I was like, okay. that's good, you know. And then I left and I went to the bar, and it was a surprise party, and all the kids were there. And immediately I was like, God, you're not pregnant. I thought that whole time that you were going to tell me that you guys were going to have a child or something. Like, I was trying to prepare myself. Like, don't freak out. Are we going to be receptive to this? You know, what do we say? You know, because I'm almost in the clear. I had kids young. I'm coming out of the woodwork now. I have 4 years before my youngest is 18.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to have, like, a whole nother generation. I mean, if I have to. But it was scary. It was scary.
If I have to.
You know?
Yeah.
I'm only 1 year younger than I made my parents a grandparent. And I didn't think any of it then. But when you look at it now in hindsight.
You're in the throes of it.
Yeah. Now.
Oh, wow. You didn't even think about it that way.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
It's scary.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Ooh.
Wait, I missed it. Sorry.
Where were you?
So I had an emergency text I had to send.
Where'd you go?
Yeah, sorry.
Wait, what happened?
That's how you respond to it, not knowing what the fuck we were talking about.
Where were we?
All right, it's fine.
Grandparents. Sheesh. We're talking about Jasmine almost becoming a grandparent.
I heard that part.
In her own brain.
Yeah.
I ever thought
heard
that
that
one a
part.
little bit.
But now she's only 1 year younger
Okay, this is where I didn't hear. Yeah.
than when she made her parents grandparents.
Ah,
Yeah,
shit.
that's the weird thing.
So we're
Wow.
like, dun, dun, dun.
Getting a little nervous.
Yeah. Yeah, because he was acting
Ugh.
so weird.
Yeah.
And then Tyler, he has the same. He's been with this one girl for a while, which they have such a healthy, good relationship because he had one that was pretty toxic. And it was from like 8th grade into his freshman year. And it was really bad because the problem with the kids now is they have instant contact with
Yeah.
So now it's
They
just
track each other, right?
Yeah. They fucking the location and shit.
everything's expedited.
Fuck
So,
that shit.
Yeah.
At one point, because it was getting so intense, I took him down to get like a family break and no phones down to Florida for a week. And it was Easter break. And I was wondering why he kept doing homework on his laptop and then pull his laptop and he's
Contacting his text.
it was the Microsoft doc. They were going back and forth. 29 pages in a day.
Shit.
29. And it was the bulk of it was her going on and on and on about all this stuff that she like hated me because I cut off their contacts. She was gonna unalive herself. There was all this
Oh my God.
crazy shit that was said.
Bro.
So, because I pulled his laptop, I'm like, dude, you can't be doing homework right now. And I looked, and it was insane. And just sucking him in, saying she had panic attacks, blaming him for it. And this is 8th grade.
I blame gluten.
It's just
Probably a peanut allergy.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
no, it's
Shit, a
crazy.
peanut allergy.
That's the crazy how he has it. Of all people to have a gay ass peanut allergy, he has one.
True.
He's like, what is it, Louis C.K.? He's like, listen, if touching a peanut could kill you, you're supposed to die.
You're not supposed to be here. That's true.
Cause right, like
That's so funny and true.
schools eradicated all peanuts, right? Like you're not even allowed to bring peanuts in
certain
like,
schools,
with
yeah.
your own lunch, like even
Certain
if you're not
schools.
allergic. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, like
They have a peanut table at my school.
Oh my
Like,
god.
the ones that are allergic, they're ostracized to their own little table.
Like lepers.
That's the way it should be. Sorry, dude.
Imagine
You're
Scott
the one that's
growing up.
weird.
Yo, for real though. Right.
Like, I would have been okay with that. I'm like, yeah, I'm fucking weird.
Yeah, I got this gay shit. I
Scott
guess.
all alone at his own little
Like,
table.
Eating like a jelly sandwich.
Yeah.
jelly.
Pissed off.
There's no peanut butter.
Yeah, regular butter and jelly.
My mom used to make cream cheese and jelly for
butter
me.
and
Cream
jelly.
cheese and jelly.
You guys
Yeah.
want to hear something
They're
gross?
good.
Yeah,
That actually sounds like it's all right, actually. Yeah.
Did I ever tell you guys about Mandingo?
Oh wow.
Like the porn star?
What?
No, I know. Well, his nickname's Mandingo. It's
Why is
my
that?
fault. So it's this guy. He's from Atlantic City.
Oh
It's
my
a group
God.
of veterans that come in.
Right off the bat. He's from Atlantic City.
There's a man from Atlantic City called Mandingo.
Called Mandingo. Jesus Christ.
One night he was in, these guys, I love them. I'm dying laughing every single night when they come in because they've all grown up with each other for the past 30, 40 years and they like just bust each other's balls every night. Like insane amount.
That's how we show love.
Oh my God, it's so great.
Language.
I love them. They call me
Gay
ovaries. That's my nickname is ovaries for all these veteran guys, you know. The one guy is like fought in Vietnam, all this stuff, and when he drinks too much scotch, he always leans over the bar. He's like, ovaries, get me a scotch. I'm like, all right, you know, you're lucky I am who I am, all right?
That would offend 90% of the people. Yeah.
More.
Luckily, you got
probably.
Jasmine.
Yeah. Fortunately, it's Jasmine.
But Mandingo, so he was sitting there at the bar one night, and this girl came in, half his age. She was wasted. She's hanging all over him.
How old is this guy about? You right about?
67.
Oh, shit.
68.
Okay, he's older. Okay.
So she's like 40. She's hanging all over him. She's wasted, saying how much she loves his voice and how sexy it is and everything. I'm sitting on the other side of him. And he's like trying to find an exit plan. So I'm like guiding him, like you can go through the back kitchen, whatever you want to do. So he turns around and he's like genuinely concerned and then instantly turns around to me and he goes, don't get me wrong. If this were 30 years ago, I would have fucked her like a Mandingo warrior. And I lost it. He's been Mandingo ever since.
Oh my God.
Oh, so this is the origination of the name.
Yeah.
So,
I thought he called himself Mandingo.
This is the origin
I
story.
did too. I thought that was like his
but
name.
he answers to it now. You yell Mandingo from afar, and he turns around.
He's like,
he knows
what?
his,
Yes.
Some names stick.
I forget why I was telling you guys about him.
All right. Don't really need a reason. That's a good
Doesn't
story.
matter. It's a great story either way. That's how he got his name. That's pretty good. I thought it was something that they carried into your life.
Right. So
They used to
I
do
did
so
too.
many messed up things. And like the thing that's so great about it is they still are equally as offended or find it equally as funny as when it happens. Like like stuff that happened 30 years ago.
They
and
still
like,
laugh so hard about it.
They went on these hunting trips and like the one guy put women's underwear in everybody's suitcase when they went home to their wives and dumped them out.
Oh my God.
And like these guys are still mad about it and Richie still sits there crying, laughing.
It's a great prank.
Oh
a
my
great
God.
prank.
That is a good one.
It's so great. Or they talk about how Mandingo
Holy
was on a
shit.
mountain in Maine and they had him on the binoculars, right? And they didn't realize at the time he had Lyme's disease. So he couldn't he had an episode on the hill. And they see him through the binoculars trying to drag this deer and he's falling down the hill, like all the way down, slow motion. And they still laugh about it. And he's like, fuck you guys, man. I had the limes. And,
I had the limes.
But he still got that deer down. But they just,
Exactly.
I had the
I had
limes.
the limes.
and they like cry laugh. It is so funny.
That is actually funny that they have the
great.
same level of emotion still.
Yeah, of course. You know what I mean? Because you get like reminded of it. How much, like those are the best pranks, right? It's like when you piss the one guy off so bad, right? And you know it's innocent.
Right. Oh my God.
It's fucking hilarious.
No, it lives forever.
It
Like,
lives
it'll go
forever,
on
man.
forever.
Remember when we got Chris with the bee costume?
Oh, that was classic.
still
that
I
was
still
beautiful.
have the voicemail. I can't play it, but I still have his voicemail when he bought the costume.
That was absolutely
I
beautiful.
still have it on my phone.
Oh my God.
You remember?
Yes.
Wait, tell me what happened.
Okay.
Oh my God.
That was a beautiful moment. That took a lot of back work too. That was very genius.
I was on it, man, for the entire day. Me and Chris,
Crass.
me and Chris used to work midnights together, right? So on the weekends, we had the
Coco.
same shift. And it was Halloween, and our manager didn't want the bartenders to dress up because every other bar has like a Halloween themed.
Right.
So if you come to our place and you're not dressed up, you don't feel like an asshole, right? That's their theory, right? So I was like, all right, cool.
Got it.
That day in the morning, I was like, we have to dress up like bumblebees. And he's like, what? And the only reason I did this is because the girls were dressing like bumblebees. They had already coordinated, right? So I was like, you have to dress like a bumblebee. He's like, what? And I was like, that's what they want. They want bee-bar bees, right? And he's like, are you serious? And I'm like, yeah. I said, I had to go to Spirit of Halloween and
Do I
grab
have to cut that out?
What? What did I say?
Beep Barbies.
Oh yeah, yeah.
No, it sounds so. I'm leaving it. Fuck it.
Beep Barbies. And so
good.
So he's like, "Are you fucking serious?" I said, "I don't believe you, right?" I'm like, "I'm telling you, you know what I mean? Call anybody." And I had already texted every single contact.
You really set this shit up
at our place,
right? So if they called him,
So if they called, everybody was on board.
Yeah.
Everybody, all bartenders, like, and text everybody else so much so that his wife was in on it.
Oh
and I didn't have her contact information, so she's in on it, right? So he doesn't believe you, right? Then all of a sudden I get this voicemail, and it's like, "Oh, Will," he's like, "I'm at Spirit Halloween. It's the second one. They only have girl Bumblebee costumes, so I got the largest one they had. It's like $40." And he's like, "You know, I guess, you know, I have to wear this. I have to make this work." I'm like, "Okay." You know what I mean? Like, I had to call him back. I was like, "Yeah, man, dude, it's not fun." You know what I mean? Like, I'm real serious. I'm like, "It's not gonna be fun. We look like idiots." You know what I mean? But whatever. So you get there. I get there 30 minutes before my shift, right? I go into the bank and I'm like, "Listen, you have to tell them, wait till you see the other guys. Everybody's here. They're all dressed like bees. Wait to see the other guys," right? So he gets in there, they're dying laughing, but they're telling him, like, "Oh my God, when you get down there, it's so funny, right?" So and then the only person, Jamie, she works at the tequila bar, and she's like, "You know they're pranking you, right?" And
She's the fucking worst.
wait. I set this up so well, he didn't believe her.
Damn.
Yeah, that's how good I did it, right? Like, I had everybody. Even Dom from the bar. Everybody.
Scott
Except for
exploded.
fucking Jamie was like,
Dude, you
know
don't
they're pranking
understand.
me, right? What?
Go ahead. Finish that, then I'll go into my Jamie thing.
So wait, then
yeah.
I run down to the bar as soon as I go to the bank, grab my bank. I'm a half hour early, I don't care. I go down there, I tell everybody what's going on. Everybody knows what's going on. And then we start telling all the customers what's going on, right?
Oh my God.
So the bank was like, "Will, he just left the bank." You know what I mean? I'm like, "Cool," right? So I'm like, "Yo, he's going to be down there in 10 minutes. All these people pull out their phones and all that stuff, right? This motherfucker, have you ever seen like the hooker bee costume?
Oh my
Like, you know how girls take that opportunity to dress like hoes?
Yes.
Spaghetti straps and
Yeah, like a
fucking tube top.
leotard.
This motherfucker didn't even put a t-shirt under that. Bare shoulders, bro. He's coming down the fucking casino.
This is better than you could have even imagined.
It was the best thing that ever happened to me. Right? I have the picture. Wait till we're done. I have the picture.
Oh my God.
We're crying. We had girls. His wife helped him put it on. Okay, and then
that traitor.
and then he gets there, and Teresa from the bank helped him with like his wings a little bit because he had to put the wings on, right?
She's getting help from her.
And girls came, like, went home, got changed, and came back to the bar just to see him walk in, right? So he walks up and he like immediately knows it's a prank, and then he just fucking owns it. He takes the antennas out of his bag. He's like, he puts them into the bar.
I respect that.
I was like, why wouldn't you wear a t-shirt under that?
Right.
Just a black t-shirt.
It's like I'm fully committed.
I was like, our uniform is black t-shirts.
Right.
Like, why would you do that? Right?
You're right. It's equally as funny. Because what was that? Like 15 years ago?
It was more.
10?
It was probably like 19 years ago.
It was
like,
so funny.
Was so funny.
He recognizes
Yeah, I
it.
sat front
Takes
row
the
for that.
antennas out.
Yeah, some dude gave us like $100 tip. He was like, "Oh, that was so awesome!" Like, you know what I mean? I was like, "Keep it. Disgusting. This is for you. Put it in your pocket."
Right.
Because he spent like $40 on that costume.
Oh my God.
And the voicemail. Wait till you hear the voicemail, and I'm gonna show you the picture. It's so funny, and to this day, it's the best thing that ever happened. And
That
he
is hilarious.
he owned it right at the last minute. He
I
owned
respect
it.
that he owned it.
What were you gonna say?
Oh, fucking yeah, dude! Jamie was notorious for ruining surprises.
What? Oh,
Notorious.
Mine. Did
Yours?
She did mine?
Yep, she did. She did my birthday party.
Why?
That
Why?
What do you mean? How'd she ruin your birthday party?
Wait, how did she ruin
my
yours?
so
I'll
my
tell you.
ex-wife, I guess, it was throwing a surprise birthday. It was my 40th.
Same. But
Right?
it was my 30th. Good.
Yeah, it was my 40th. And was it my 40th? No, it wasn't my 40th.
I don't think so.
Couldn't have been, right? No, it couldn't have been my 40th. Yeah. Doesn't matter. But either way, she was throwing me a surprise birthday party. She's like, "Oh, what do you want?" She's like, "What do you want to do tonight?" I'm like, "I just kind of want to go out." And we actually ended up like we went. Either she came in the night before while I was working,
Instead
Ed
of
said, and was like,
tomorrow or whatever.
Like, kind of like, what are you doing for your birthday tomorrow night? You know, like, that's stupid. I'm like, huh? I'm like, I think we're just going to go. She's like, yeah, okay. And like right away, I'm like knowing it was her, I'm like, it was a surprise birthday for me. It was a surprise for me. You know what I mean? I'm like, dude, can you just shut the fuck? I told her, I was like, Jamie, can you just shut the fuck up? Ever,
right.
She can't. That makes her the worst and the best at the same time.
Yeah, I love that.
My wife convinced me somehow for my 30th surprise birthday party that we were going to Deja Vu for somebody else, something else.
Right.
And it's just me and Jess on the street walking. Like after we park, we just walking, and Jamie pulls up. She goes, "You guys know where I can park? Forget it." Right away. I was like, "Oh." Jess was like, "Oh, we almost made it. We're right at the door."
That's awesome.
It was like right on the street that she ruined. It was so.
She's notorious, dude. It's so funny.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Do you remember when she fought the
I can
hooker?
park, forget it.
Oh, dude,
What happened?
she fought this hooker on fucking Pacific Avenue.
I'm sure she beat the shit out of her.
No,
Jamie,
she got it was.
I think she talks a big game.
Were they low key both winning?
I think they were low key both winning. That was so funny. Why are they low key both winning?
How are they low key both winning? It was like a street fight somebody recorded, and it was like a girl would get on top of it, and somehow they would turn, and the other one would be like, and they, like it just kept going. It was pretty even. So the first comment was, "How are they both low key winning?" It was the greatest comment. The thing you sent me today with the comments was so.
Oh my God. He can't even use his hands.
Oh my God.
Some guy made it was like a Skittle box, and it was easier for you to eat Skittles. So you put them all in on the top, and then you turn the bottom, and they come out the bottom.
How fat do you need to be?
But
A
for
Skittles
one,
box?
it was just like a box. You
make
put all the
it
You could
Skittles
do it
in the
coffee
top.
beans, but they did it for Skittles.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But he did a bad job. And then he couldn't even get the Skittles in the top.
The
like
kid, the dad, they all did a
they
bad
were going everywhere. They were all like inside of the stove because for some reason they were trying to do it over the stove, and then they couldn't turn it.
They were
But
like, has this kid ever used his hands?
Yeah,
Right.
Oh my God, the comments were amazing. They were so great.
I'm sure they were.
The best comment for me was, he was like, every part of this video is the worst part of this video. I love the internet, dude.
That is a hilarious thing to say.
It's like everybody.
Every part of this video is the worst part. This whole fucking thing sucks. Dude.
It was hard to watch.
It was, but you couldn't stop because you were like,
Yeah.
oh, and then he couldn't turn it. And the Skittles were going everywhere. And the dad was all proud. That's the problem. The dad was so proud
He's like,
of him.
that's how you eat Skittles.
That's how you
Like,
eat
no, it's
Skittles.
not,
No,
sir.
it's not, you fucking moron. Oh my God.
Why are you eating Skittles in the first place?
Yeah.
Just
Fucking eat them out the
they don't,
bag.
They don't qualify as food.
It's funny.
Yeah.
The one thing that I remember about Jamie, because she used to come into the bar after the tequila bar closed all the time, and she would always demand like a really dirty martini. And I think it was you.
It was me.
Yeah. Finally, he had enough of it, and he gave her straight olive
olive
juice.
juice.
And she took it and she sipped it. She's like, "Now that's a good dirty martini." And we were all like, "Oh."
Straight brine.
Bro, it was no, I had
There was no vodka
Grey Goose,
in there
no
at all.
Grey Goose.
Oh my God.
Not even a little bit.
Not
It's
even
like
a little
cocktail.
bit. I waved the bottle over the. I showed Jasmine I had the shaker, and I waved the bottle over without turning it over. I just waved the bottle over.
When he poured it into the martini, I was like, "That was good form, sir. Good job."
She kept doing it, dude. I was down to like half a shot at one point, and then she still wanted. I'm like, oh my God. So I literally shook the shit out of olive juice and gave it to her. She was like, "This is the best dirty martini I ever had."
Yeah.
Dude, she used to come in a club. We used to have to take all the fucking napkins off the bar.
Dude,
Oh.
I used to hate that. She used to do that shit at Haven too.
It's like a little PTSD.
Yo,
session
for real. It's like
happening here.
instant. I'm like,
Get the napkins. Here, the
she
napkins.
did that shit one time.
See her huge fake tits coming my way. I'm like, get the napkins off the bar.
Jesus, we might have to cut out.
Cut out
Why?
last 2 minutes.
She don't care.
She doesn't care. She's good like that.
Dude. She
She's a
just
trooper.
like took all the napkins out of like, it was like 6 napkin
Caddies.
fucking caddies on the bar. And she just emptied all of them. And just threw the napkins everywhere, behind my bar, everywhere. And I was like, I turned around to her. Because I had told her, she was doing this all night. I must have refilled this just like 10 times. 'cause of her. And I was asking, I'm like, yo, please, Could you please? Like, you do this for a living.
You know
Can you
her,
have
yeah.
some fucking
She
like?
did not care.
I know.
That you did it for a living.
And she did it one last time, dude. And I was like, I remember I was filling up fucking a carafe with storm pour with pineapple juice in the back bar. And I just saw a fucking bunch of napkins fly in front of me and land. And I took the pineapple juice can and I slammed it on the fucking bar. And I turned around. I was like, get the fuck out of here. Like, and she was like, she tells a story. She exaggerates. Like, she always tells, she's like, yo, remember you took that fucking Bacardi glass and broke it and glass went everywhere because you got so mad. I'm like, that didn't happen. Like, if she ever, you ever see her, she's going to tell you, I broke a bottle and glass went
Knowing
everywhere.
you were probably like, damn it, Jamie.
No, I wasn't.
That's enough. You need to leave.
I was like that the first 7 times, and then she set me off. But yeah, man.
It only took 7.
Trying to give it a benefit of the doubt.
You should have dumped the fucking pineapple on her head.
Should have.
He's like, here, you're gonna stink for hours.
Okay,
Yeah. Isn't that crazy how that shit smells like that?
It's
It's so delicious and
turns.
tastes so and smells so bad. It
I
smells
feel
like farts.
I feel like it turns immediately. Or something. I don't know. It's
Like,
so
as soon as
fucking
somebody
weird.
starts pouring pineapple juice, like, who farted? It's fucking somebody just like, no, I'm just pouring pineapple.
It stinks.
It's the pineapple.
Man. How long are we going so far?
155.
That's not bad.
Right there.
Ready to call it?
Yeah.
All right. We have been the Pouring Rain Podcast. I'm Bert.
Can Shaba?
Balls.
And this has been.
Jasmine.
Make sure you check out bar number 79 in Hammonton.
Go
Polish
support.
themed food. Homemade pierogies.
Is it Hammonton?
Is it Hammonton?
Technically Mullica Township. There's a big, thing online. They go back and forth.
Mullica Township. There's only one bar number
It's our
79
address.
anyway.
Yeah.
So
Pass on the pike.
go
Run
check
the
Jazz
left.
out.
One bar that matters in Mullica Township.
There's one bar that matters.
Number 79.
Bar number
Yeah.
79. And that's it. We're out.
Instate on decision. Mr. Function, come off it, teach them